20 or
He already has it all set up.
oh, perfect. So I guess
I know it is. Oh, I don't think it's working. Okay, maybe. I guess we'll find out. This is Nothing Coherent. I'm Brandon.
I'm Zach.
Ryan, unfortunately, had an incident behind the local Walmart.
Yeah, no, the
there
Walmart
was
that
a
I used to
guy
work at
offering free prostate exams.
That's not what I heard.
That's what I heard.
I heard that one of my friends at Walmart that I've been telling about the podcast said that he listens to it, and he was all like, you know what, I just have to tell you, man, I really don't like that Ryan guy. He's just really, really weird and uncomfortable. And I heard that Ryan was going to Walmart today, and he killed him.
Oh, well, I heard he got attacked during the prostate exam.
That's how he did it, man.
How's my underwear? Like, it's cool, right?
Yeah, that's
Nice.
Stormtroopers.
Disco Ball Stormtroopers.
Yeah. For the record, we're not recording in our typical studio. We're actually recording in Brandon's bedroom, so I don't know what's going to happen. He already took his clothes off like 20 seconds into this episode.
It's very hot outside here. It's like 95, but feels like 104 or something like that.
Do you ever feel like you could audition to be a part of the Eric Andre show because of our experience out in your garage?
I want to say I could, based on just the temperature. I don't know if I could survive his actual routines and stuff.
I feel like I probably could, just because I'd just sit in the corner and laugh hysterically the entire time.
I feel like we'd be a lot like Tyler the Creator and
we would, yeah.
The ones that are in on it, like Jack Black.
Jack Black, Lance Riddick.
But I feel like that doesn't make for good TV, so that's why I would never want to be on it, because I would know.
Yeah, but no, the best part is that you pretend that you don't know, and then at the end you show him basically subtly throughout the entire 90-minute interview. Oh yeah, I know what you've been doing.
Or break his desk. I feel like that'd be a big one. Get naked on set.
Yeah, just do weird stuff. I've been watching a lot of his just interviews lately, and one of my favorites is Chris Jericho, because he goes on there and he said literally nothing the entire time. He just sat there and said nothing, and they just tortured him for an hour and a half. And when he stands up, there's a hole in the floor from where a raccoon comes out or whatever. And he puts his foot in the hole, and then he got on his podcast and he was talking about it. He was 10 minutes in, I knew what they were doing, and I was just gonna let them have their fun. I was like, that's amazing.
Yeah, I know Jack Black's talked about on Jablinski Games how he knew about it and wanted to play along, but some of it was just he could not keep a straight face during some of it.
I saw Eric talk about that. He was like, so basically what I end up doing...
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I'm sorry.
But he was there's some guests that obviously know who we are, so we change up how we torture them on the show. He was like, Howie Mandel knew who we were, so he was waiting for us to get really weird, so instead we had to torture him with things that we knew bothered him, he's a huge germaphobe. So they would keep putting stuff in his face that was disgusting,
Howie's one of them that's really lost it while on there. They were able to get under his skin.
He walked out, T.I. walked out, and then my favorite one to walk out was Lauren Conrad. I hope that someday in the future that they just release those full interviews.
I know, I'd love to see
the 45-minute ones.
Well, I'd love to see the full show me them in the green room waiting.
Yeah.
Because they leave them in there for a long time.
Right. That's what I think is the funniest part. They you would think, all right, this is just a waste of my time. I'm gonna leave. But so anyway, apart from that, what have you been up to? What you been doing this past week? Anything fun?
So I want to tell a story.
Okay.
That I didn't tell last week because somebody. Ryan, just derailed the podcast.
Hey, don't speak ill of the dead.
Let's call a spade a spade.
Okay.
He's the reason that podcast went off the rails last week. We just have Jacob on there trying to be nice, trying to be a good guy, but,
Yeah, man, I tried to get us a good guest, and Ryan just wasn't having it.
So I didn't tell the story of Crawl.
Oh, yeah!
So I attempted to see Crawl, last Friday. It's late. It's about 10 o'clock. I decided to double feature because everyone was working, and I was like, I have A-list, so I'm going to go see some movies. So I saw Last Black Man, which last week I feel look, it's a great movie. It's not playing around here anymore, but please see it. It needs support, and I got to grab this charging cord. And I feel like it got
Hey,
It's getting the
man,
short end of the stick.
You ought to like mute your phone.
Because,
This is
hey,
like-
listen here!
This is really unprofessional.
Oh my gosh,
I even put my phone in airplane mode.
I freaking just... Shut up. Yeah, it's a great movie. 9 out of 10. Crawl, though. So, during the trailers, so I tried to pick out seats. We have reserved seating here. I tried to pick out seats that were, like, far away from everyone. And so everyone just came to me instead. The theater wasn't, like, that full, but my row was full. And it's
Do you
like
think it's because everybody knows who you are now?
Probably.
As a local celebrity.
Probably is nothing coherent. I was more recognized as
Nothing
Goldfish
coherent.
Gaming from the McDonald's employee.
Oh man, I actually got noticed once as Jittery Jackanate when I was at Walmart buying tater tots.
But anyway, so during Crawl, the trailers, play, and one of them was, that, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and this girl, like 2 seats down from me, just starts crying, and I was like, oh, maybe something happened, and I just hear her go, I'm scared, and just starts bawling during the trailer, and I was like, oh no. And so we get about 20 minutes in, and maybe a little bit longer on there. The first time the alligator or crocodile pops out under the stairs, she just screeches and then starts crying. And I was like, ugh. I was like, I didn't pay to be here, so I can leave at any point. I was like, maybe she'll stop. I stayed for 20 more minutes, so I made it about halfway through the movie, and she just kept crying. And it got so bad that the guy in the row in front of me, I saw him lean his chair back farther and just start playing Minecraft. And I was like, you know what? That's my sign to leave, because I can see Minecraft in the bottom part of the screen. I'm like, I'm done. I got up, and I just left. I grabbed everything, and I was like, I'm out of here. And, like, there's a couple to my left that was also kind of rough, but I think they were making out. I'm not really sure what was happening down there. I just kind of, like, ignored them.
Well, that's what happens when you go to the 10 o'clock at night shows.
Yeah.
Theater where you can't kick people out, man.
Well, but it's that A-list. So it's like,
yeah, I
you know.
know. A-list is just attracting all the people from Florida to come here and watch movies.
Hey, that movie was based in Florida.
I know.
I think. I don't really can't tell you much of the plot. But yeah. So I mean, let's see what was this week. What did I watch this week? What did I do?
I've had bad movie experiences like that before too. I think back to when I went and saw the original Avengers. Your story is a lot more fun with your cousin and his appendix.
Well,
Right.
I mean, yeah. I mean, my cousin had appendicitis like the same week Avengers came out, and the doctor told him to just stay home.
Yeah.
He had the surgery a day before, and he was like, no, and he took his painkillers with him, and his painkillers made him sleepy, so he didn't take them until after we got out of Avengers, which was about 4 in the morning. By the time we got 5. It was 5 by the time when we finished watching the movie and finished talking about it.
So for me, I had a good time with the movie, but when we all got out to the parking lot to talk about the movie, there was a bunch of people dressed up as the Justice League, and they were there just trying to troll us so bad, and somebody picked up a giant rock and just threw it at them, and I was like, you know what, y'all kind of deserve that. And I'll never forget Aquaman's words. He said, one of these days you'll see Justice League's gonna make a great movie, and I'm still waiting for that day.
Oh yeah, we all are.
Let's I just wanted to tell that quick story while you were thinking about what you did this past week. So
Well, it didn't help. I was thinking about Justice League now. For sure, we saw The Art of Self-Defense last night.
Oh yeah, no. Speaking of people who are rough, the guy sitting next to me was not in a good mood.
He was not having it, dude. And then when she came over to drop off your stuff, and he's like, "I have an order," and she's like, "I'm not your."
I just
server."
wanted to look at him and be like, she's not the one taking orders, man. She's been coming back and forth delivering food to people. Like, the guy that you want is down there in the front row taking, like, literally everybody else's orders.
Well, he wasn't even in because I was getting irritated too, because he wasn't even in the theater when the guy said that. He had not been in the theater once since we had sat down.
Really?
Yeah.
Because
I
I kept feeling like I kept seeing him just going back.
He came in eventually and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," like, because he like yells, he like pronounced really loud, and I was like,
yeah,
"Dude, you need to tone it down like 2, take it down like from your 10 to 7."
See, that's why I'm always like, whenever I go to the Alamo, I'm like, I gotta get there a little early, just in case. Just because I don't like waiting until like 30, 40 minutes in to get my food, and then 10 minutes later I get my bill if it's a shorter movie.
Well, if I'm not getting food, I don't care. Like last
Yeah.
night, we just got drinks, and so I was
Sure.
like, I don't care to
That
get
doesn't
there.
matter as much, but like for me, I was like, I haven't eaten all day, I'm getting a pizza.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to get that before the movie starts so that like he's not in the way of me trying to watch the movie or anything.
Yeah, and that guy next to you was really, really kind of a jerk. If he's listening to this podcast, thank you for supporting us. And
No,
we'll
no,
eventually
no.
have a Patreon.
We don't think people who treat service industry members badly. Listen, if you're one of those people that treats your waiter or waitress like crap, you're not allowed to listen to this podcast.
Yeah, turn it off.
So like,
Actually, go listen to the last 20 minutes of last week's episode.
all 12 of you that listen, turn it off.
And Carly, you can probably keep listening, but maybe not Nathan. Maybe not him.
Does he actually listen to us?
I don't know who listens to us.
I actually was telling one of my friends from high school about our podcast today while I was just sitting down watching some stand-up on YouTube. And she was like, oh, I'll listen to that at work. And I was like, well, if you want a good laugh, you need to listen to the last 20 minutes of episode
You should.
19.
Well, let's do this real quick, because I already started. So the art of self-defense.
Okay. Great film.
Overall, yeah, I really liked it.
I did not think it was going to be that good.
My problem was, one, I feel like the trailer gave everything away, or at least enough that because I figured it out. Like, early on in the movie,
Yeah,
I knew from the beginning, but I waited till halfway through and I leaned over to my fiance and I was like, hey, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I was like, here's exactly everything that's going to happen, how it plays out.
The entire time, I was like, this movie's going to be really predictable, and I was just thinking a lot about like what Marvel was doing yesterday.
It was the worst. We'll get into that in a second, though.
Yeah, I know.
Because I want to
That's
talk
gonna be,
about that.
That's going to be like the bulk of this
That's
episode.
all we're talking about, basically.
I know, because I haven't really done anything else or seen any movies really, so it's like...
I don't think I've seen anything else. Oh, no, I did. We're going to do something. I have an idea.
Okay.
But our self-defense, I thought Jesse Eisenberg did really well.
Yeah.
I can't remember the sensei's name.
Hold on, I'll look it up.
I would say, overall...
He was in something that I've seen before.
Overall, all the cast is really good.
Yeah.
It's a dark comedy with very dry humor.
That's the type of humor I really like.
Yeah, and that's what I told my fiance. I was like, this is my humor. Like,
Yeah.
that's why there were scenes where I like laughed.
Yeah, we
and
were
no one
losing it.
else. No one else.
Like when he was talking about like how he has to show this dog who Alpha is, I was like, yeah, that sounds like something Brandon or I would say.
Well, or even like the scene where he's like talking about buying a gun, and then the guy calls him back. And he's like, I'm not gonna buy the gun anymore. And he's like, oh, did you have kids? And I was the only one in the theater that laughed, and so I was like,
I thought that was funny.
But I mean, like overall, I thought the humor is really good. It is very predictable, but I like the dry humor of it.
Yeah.
It's one of those that's an indie film that isn't going to do like super well, but I wish it was
I think
better.
it's weird enough that it should get some recognition.
Alamo's pushing it pretty hard.
Yeah, which I appreciate. That's what I like about Alamo a lot.
I'm glad they're pushing The Farewell because I really want to see that.
Alessandro Nivola is the guy, and he played in American Hustle as well and Face Off.
I haven't seen either one of those.
Just for anybody who might have heard that, but yeah, no, he makes the movie. Like,
Well, his chemistry with...
his chemistry with Eisenberg is actually really good, and I didn't think I would see a good Jesse Eisenberg performance ever since he became Lex Luthor.
So I was looking for showtimes for The Farewell. Still not playing around here. Yeah, I thought Eisenberg's always been good. I thought Lex was just a bad casting.
Yeah,
call.
you were talking about that with the guy at the Alamo last night who was cleaning up. And
I didn't fully agree with what he said, but I agreed that I think Eisenberg could have been a good Lex, just not... They rushed him real quick, and I didn't think
For
that was
me,
like...
I think the biggest problem with Batman vs. Superman was how they went straight from Man of Steel to Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah. Well, I agree with that. I agree
And
that...
I'm just like, you can't build up any tension for Superman as this person that people can't trust.
Or Batman, because
Or
everyone just
Batman.
associates Batman with the Christian Bale one.
Yeah.
And so, like, you associate Batman a different way than what they're portraying him
Right.
as.
So to me, I'm just like, how do I connect to either of these characters right now or what they're struggling with? Because the entire Superman movie is about how he doesn't want his powers or anything. Give me one full movie where he's actually Superman going around doing things.
Yeah, I would have rather had Man of Steel 2, which was the world divided on, do we need a Superman?
Right.
And then at the
and
end
then
of
being
it...
like, you need to stop.
Well, at the end of it, like, teeter, like, introduce Lex,
Mm-hmm.
show him have something destructive, but that he saves people. So there is still that turn.
Right.
yeah, maybe we shouldn't, and then that just like encourages Bruce more.
Yeah.
So like, don't have Batman vs Superman. It doesn't matter. But yeah,
But speaking of Superman, I saw that Brandon Routh, who played him in Ralph, who played him in Superman Returns, is coming back for something.
Is going to play on Crisis on Infinite Earth, the Arrowverse crossover, and he's going to be playing the Red Sun Superman, from what I heard.
Really?
So like the Russian Superman.
Oh man, that's going to be kind of cool.
I think I'm actually going to watch it.
I'll probably watch that.
I haven't watched Arrow or any of those in a while. So.
I only watched the first season of Arrow.
I'd say season 1 and 2 are good. 4 was alright, and then I haven't watched since then.
Yeah.
Flash was alright for its first season. I didn't like when they started doing the different timelines because they just frustrated me because we lost all the character development. And we had this new... Anyway, it's just stupid. Yeah. Stupid! Anyway.
You can't yell at the rats like that, man.
Oh my gosh. Just stop telling me what to do. Anyway,
to Walmart
so the art of self-defense is easily an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I could agree with that. 8.5 is good.
Definitely better than Batman vs Superman for like by a mile. And maybe most of the CW shows. So I'm going to do something different for this next review. It's Lion King.
I didn't see it.
I know. So you're going to ask me questions about Lion King and why I thought Lion King was just okay.
Okay, first, what would you give it on a scale of 1 to 10?
A 7.
A 7.
I think it's... So here's what I'm going to do something while we're talking.
Okay.
I thought out of all the Disney remakes, I think it's like the fifth best one, but that's not saying much considering that a lot of them are bad.
Which one is the best one?
I would hold Jungle Book.
Jungle Book?
To the higher standard because it does something different.
Right. I was just about to say, since you're wanting me to ask questions, my first question is, do they do anything unique with this remake of The Lion King?
No.
That's what I thought.
And that's not fully my problem with it, because I'm kind of okay with it have just being okay, so this is let me see. So we have, starting in 96, we're going to ignore Jungle Book. They did Jungle Book in 1994. So there's 101 Dalmatians, 102, Alice in Wonderland, and this isn't order of release. Maleficent, Cinderella, The Jungle Book, Alice 2, Beauty and the Beast, Christopher Robin, Dumbo, Aladdin, The Lion King, and then there's a bunch of upcoming ones.
So these are all the Disney remakes that
all the live-action remakes that have come out.
Okay.
I would say I haven't... So, 102 Dalmatians back, so 101, 102, and Jungle Book, the original 94 one, I have never seen. Or if I have, it's been too long.
I've seen the live-action 101 and 102 Dalmatians, but I was like 4. I just remember thinking Cruella de Vil was crazy, so I was like, that means they did a good job.
So I would say number 1 is Jungle Book.
Okay.
Number 2 is Aladdin.
I would agree with that.
Number 3 is probably Beauty and the Beast.
It was alright.
/ Cinderella.
I haven't seen Cinderella, so
I could switch either one of those out for 3 and 4 any day.
Okay.
Then number 5 / 6 would be Christopher Robin / Lion King.
So I didn't see Christopher Robin, but a lot of people said that it was actually really fun.
It's cute, but that's it. It's very forgettable outside of Pooh.
Right.
And the problem is we have a lot of scenes that rely on you to like Ewan McGregor's character a lot, which I do. I like Christopher Robin. It's just
I'm watching this for Winnie the Pooh, not Christopher Robin.
I like the idea of it, but I feel like they didn't capture it as much as they should.
That'd be like if the Toy Story movies primarily were Andy and you barely see the toys.
Yeah, it did make me feel bad for Pooh. Like there was
I've heard it's a pretty big feels trip.
Yeah, and then I would put. I haven't seen Maleficent in a long time. I haven't seen Alice 2, so neither of those are on this list. I would probably put Alice in Wonderland and Dumbo on the same rank because I did not like either one of them.
I did not like. We're talking about the Alice in Wonderland from like 2012.
The one that Tim Burton did that made $1 billion.
Yeah, the one that made stupid money for like no reason.
It was when Johnny Depp was super huge.
Yeah, I didn't like that one either. It was fine, but like it was just too out there for me, I guess. Like, I felt like I was tripping on acid watching that movie. I was like, what did they do to Johnny Depp? Like, what sort of dirt did they have on this man to make him keep taking these crazy roles? Or is he just weird?
But so that my other things with Lion King is the music is not great.
Okay. Did you like the voice performances of any of them? Because I know James Earl Jones came back.
Yeah, and
did he sound?
He's good because it's James Earl Jones.
Right, but like,
he doesn't sound like he's. You can tell he's older.
You can tell he's older. Yeah, I was gonna say, does it sound as if like he's aged and maybe it was a mistake to bring him back?
No, I don't think it was a mistake. I think they just needed to like. I don't know. I think he sounds fine.
Did you like the voice of Scar?
Yes, and I think Scar's character depth is better here.
Really?
But here's my problem: is it's two different things, and with this version of Scar, it's much darker because one, they don't emote, and two, there's no colorful like world they're in. It's very our world. It's very basic, bland, kind of just generic.
It's the actual African safari.
Right. And so, like for example, I Just Want to Be King, where it switches to all the colorfulness and all, like, the upbeat stuff. That's not there. It's just Simba running around through animals. And it doesn't look right because...
Do they have the animals stack up on top of each other and make a giant tower?
They don't.
Then I'm out.
And this is the thing. I hold the original Lion King to really high regard.
That's probably my favorite Disney movie.
I would have to... I don't know.
It's in my top 5. I just switched my top 5 around.
Yeah. And so, like, for me... This one I knew going in. I was like, well, Jungle Book was really good. Mm-hmm. So this could go either way. But I think Jungle Book's big thing is it had Mowgli, who we got to connect to. Right. And this, you have lions that do not emote. And I said this, and I'll say it again. When Mufasa dies, spoilers, it looks weird because it's a live lion falling from a mountain, and it just looks funky. Like, at least in the animated one, there was the expression on the face. There's, like, the fear and terror. And in this, it just doesn't look right. There's no emotion expressed and through any of it. Even when Simba, like, goes down to play with them, yeah, I heard our audience cry. I would say most people in that theater still cried. And I don't think the movie's bad. I just think because it's losing that
it loses its artistic value.
Yeah, it loses that connection because there's no human characters, so you have to be able to connect emotionally in a different way, and that's just not there.
Yeah. And
it's not that I wanted to hate this movie because Lion King, like I said, is one of my favorites. I was super excited for it. That first trailer was awesome.
Yeah.
The movie looks incredible.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you feel like the effects are good?
Oh, 100%, except for during some of the songs.
Really?
Because they want the lip flaps to match, especially, it's noticeable a lot with Pumbaa.
Yeah, I was going to say, Timon and Pumbaa, I feel like would be the harder ones to animate.
They are, and it's harder, like, to notice, like, especially the scene where they do a different take on the pig, it's Mr. Pig to you or something, when he fights the hyenas.
Oh, yeah,
they do a different take on
Mr.
that.
Pig.
And you don't see, like, the emote from it. You just hear him getting louder, and I'm like, that doesn't really, like, work the same way, and they look kind of weird, which I get it's how Warthog...
Did they do the Hawaiian dance with...
They don't, but they do something kind of better.
Oh.
I won't spoil it,
okay.
But I almost started just applauding in the theater because I thought that was funny.
Okay.
That was one... Timon, Pumbaa, and Zazu are the best parts of the movie.
Okay. See, I always hated Zazu as a kid, but as I got older, I kind of...
I think John Oliver just brings something new to it.
Yeah.
And I think the reason I've told a lot of people this because a lot of people talk to me. I think the reason I like them most is because they're the most with the new dialogue. A lot of the other ones
really
don't have any new dialogue.
So, like, there's a few changes to the script, but not a lot?
No, it's probably... What was probably changed is them improving.
Okay.
Probably playing off each other. Donald Glover, of course, is really good. Him and Beyonce sounds a little odd, just like when she's normally, but when she's singing, it's fine.
I was going to say, is it because, like... You can tell, like, the difference in her voice when she's singing and talking.
Yeah, but it's... Honestly, if you hadn't told me that was Beyonce, I mean, I don't know who... I know of Beyonce.
Right.
But, like, just her talking normally, unless you had told me that Beyonce was in this movie, I'd probably have been like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, no, see, I want to go see it because I like the voice cast. And I'm like, honestly, even if you just gave me the same script, I'd probably like it. My big thing always goes back to... How do you emote with these characters when you're trying to make it as close to live action as you can?
Yeah, and now there are some scenes where you can tell that they emoted a little bit, but it's not to the same extent of, like, that I was hoping for.
Right, because, like, I feel like the only thing you can really emote to show expression would be the eyes.
Right.
To keep that realism, I guess.
And I might be wrong, but I remember when Simba was standing there next to Mufasa, I didn't see any tears, I didn't see the face, like, really react at all. And so I'm like... That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about my other big complaint. And so like I said, Can You Feel the Love Tonight sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else did not. Now,
Really?
Just Wanna Be King is alright. I like it, but it's not great.
It's not like the original.
Yeah, I think the problem is, and here it is this is a counterbalance to Timon, Pumbaa, and Zazu. None of them can sing, really. Billy, Timon's actor, I can't remember his last name, he tries his hardest, and it kind of works in Can You Feel the Love Tonight, but Hakuna Matata with just them carrying it, and it's super noticeable when Donald Glover comes in, because they don't sound great.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of rough. Because a lot of it has to be spoken, because they just can't do it. Same thing with, like, Be Prepared in the original. Be Prepared in this one is cut down to a minute.
Really? They cut down that song?
They cut a lot of it down.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Because they did change, this is the minor thing they changed, which I thought it was a dumb change, but they made it where the hyenas were more of characters, which sucks. There's no, like, Ed, so there's no, like, one that's just laughing the entire time.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, because you got Eric Andre,
yeah.
Not Peel. You got Keegan-Michael
Key.
Yeah. And I can't remember the girl's name who plays the hyena. But they're all characters. They're more characters.
They have more to do.
Mm-hmm. But they make it so that Scar basically makes a deal with them after Simba and Nala run away. Not that he sent them there. Not that he knew them before.
Really?
Yeah. At least that's how I took it. Other people might be like, well, no, he knew them. He might have known of them, but they, like...
Sure.
They didn't, like...
Wait, so Nala ran away with...
Well, like in the original. Like
to the graveyard?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. When Mufasa, when Scar goes there.
I was like, wait.
Leading up to Be Prepared, it seemed like they didn't know each other. And
right, okay.
all that, which, I mean, I get it. But, like, Be Prepared is one of my favorite villain songs.
Yeah, it's a really good villain song. It's not my favorite song from The Lion King, but it's pretty good.
I would say that and Can You Feel the Love Tonight are the best songs.
See, I've always been a fan of I Just Can't Wait to Be King.
I like it. I don't love it.
The one that I don't get why everybody obsessed over was Hakuna Matata.
We need to talk about Hakuna Matata. So, Lion King, 7 out of 10. I don't not recommend it, and I get that I'm in the minority because now, this is the thing. Our group was very torn because there's a lot of people, if you just love Lion King, it doesn't matter. It's great still.
Yeah.
Because it's Lion King. But me, it's like I look at Lion King and then this is a new adaptation of it. So like Mulan, at first I was super like, I don't know if I want that.
Oh, dude, can we please talk about Mulan?
Well, yeah. But now that I've sat on it, I'm like, well, Mulan's different. It's unique. It's going to be original. So I'm excited for that. But, okay, we can talk about Mulan real quick.
Yeah, so when they first said they were doing Mulan, I got real excited, right? Because I was like, oh, I love the story of Mulan. I love all the side characters that make up the movie. I like Mushu. I like Shang. And they were like, yeah, we're not going to do Mushu and Shang. And I was like, okay, why?
Shang's in it.
Really? I heard that he wasn't going to be in it. Or like he was going to be a new character or something.
We're talking about like Shang, the one she falls in love with?
Yeah, like the military leader.
He's played by, did you ever watch Video Game High School?
No.
So basically there's an Asian YouTuber who got the role.
Oh, okay.
So Shang's in it. It's, the cricket, Mushu, and the music are not in it.
Right. The music thing to me was the one where I was like, wait, hold on, you can't do this, you're crossing a line. But then I read the article about them trying to actually appeal more to the original story.
This movie's made for the Chinese market.
Apparently, China did not like the original Mulan because of how it didn't respect the culture and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, okay, so we're getting a distinctly different movie that's going to have the character that China sees versus the character that we see. Like, I was talking with somebody the other day, and I was like, this movie isn't for us. Like,
no, right, and that's what my father-in-law is super excited for it. Let me phrase that. And he got into kind of an argument with me, kind of. It's very, like, we were just like, this is why it's like this. And he's like, oh, it's stupid. It's because Disney wants to get their foot more in the China and Japanese market.
Right.
So and that's the same, we'll get into something else, Shang-Chi, in a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's another reason that's being made, is because they want to get their foot in there more. This movie is not for us.
Right.
But seeing that trailer in IMAX, which, by the way, I know Alan was like the favorite theater, but Lion King is completely shot in IMAX.
Yeah.
So I would recommend, like, especially the Stampede scene looks awesome.
Yeah, I'll probably go and see it in IMAX just for that reason.
But like seeing the Mulan trailer in IMAX, hearing Reflection play, like I sat there and I was like, honestly, I'm way more excited for this now because
knowing that it's going to be so different.
I would rather, and that's
Yeah.
the thing. That's why I told her. That's why I told my fiance. I was like, that's been my problem with all of them except for Jungle Book.
Yeah.
And I mean,
See, like I would love for them to do all those songs and stuff because Mulan has my favorite movie soundtrack. I think next to maybe Tarzan.
Disney soundtrack or in general?
Disney soundtrack
Okay.
for like the Disney movies. I'm just like these songs just have so much character to them themselves, and every song helps move the story forward or helps you get a better perspective of how these characters see themselves and see the world that they're in. I think the song Reflection is probably one of the most powerful Disney songs, just for what that story is saying. And then like I'll Make a Man Out of You is just one of those fun ones that like I remember learning all the words of that song and singing it at a karaoke bar just to like piss people off, like just because I love the song that much. Like I think Mulan is really good, and I think that there will still be a place for the cartoon, but I'm more excited actually now thinking about it over the last couple weeks that there's not going to be all these things that like we would expect them to do, and that they're just going to do the same movie but be more like the actual story of Mulan. And I'm like, okay, I can get behind that. So I don't know. I think this is gonna be the one that like people are gonna be like, okay, that was a good remake. That was something new. They added to it. They didn't rely so much on like what we knew from when we were kids. They actually just told the story that China wants to see. And I think that's going to be a huge appeal. Oh, I know who that is. Brandon just pulled up a picture of the guy, so.
Oh, this is the Emperor of.
Yeah.
There. So you're right. Tung is the commander, but this keeps referencing that Tung was in the original.
I don't know. But I'm super excited for Mulan. I like the idea that they're making this story specifically for a Chinese audience, with us being the secondary audience for once.
Has a $300 million budget. That's as much as in game.
Yeah, they're planning on that being $1 billion film. I guarantee it.
Hopefully.
I think Mulan, out of all the movies that they've remade, has the most potential because the story is so universal in a weird way. Like, the story is about somebody going off to fight in a war. Like, you can set that in ancient China, you can set that in the future, you can set that wherever. And you can make the characters and everything, like, work. You just have to get the script right and everything and make the characters relatable and, like, give them things that are important to them. So, like, I don't know. I think Mulan's going to be great.
Yeah, I hope so. Ryan's thing says your disc is almost full, so I guess we'll figure out what happens. Hopefully this whole episode isn't lost.
His disc is almost full?
That's what it says on here. I should just start deleting stuff.
I don't know if you should do that.
No, I think I can see his text messages. We
No.
can FaceTime him. Anyway. Oh, we stole his laptop. We can't. Because he's dead. Or prostate exam.
I don't know how you're going to communicate with the dead.
Well, I'm going to FaceTime the dead.
Ryan's not Mexican. You can't connect to the land of the dead.
That's what they do in Coco, right? There's like some scene where he does that.
Yeah. What if Ryan got crushed by a giant bow instead of died from a prostate exam?
I just think about when we laughed.
We almost got kicked out.
We
That's
didn't
such a
get
good
kicked
story.
out. I just embarrassed everyone.
Okay, so what else have you done this week? Because we're still on what you've been doing.
I played some Ultimate Alliance. Didn't get
Yeah.
very far. I do like it.
Oh yeah, that game came out. I keep thinking that it was gonna come out this week. I
No.
don't know why.
It's good. I mean, it's more Ultimate Alliance, so.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I'm going to play of it because Fire Emblem comes out this week.
Yeah.
What else did I do? Saw Lion King. Did that. Played a lot of that. Played a lot of Mario Maker.
Yeah.
By the way, my brother said you were... Oh, actually, never mind. I won't tell you. He told me about his level, but don't worry about it.
No, I have to know now.
No.
Okay,
Anyway.
tell me after.
But I played a lot more Mario Maker. Still really loving it. I tried out the demo for Dragon Quest Builders 2, which is basically Minecraft with like a super in-depth JRPG
Dragon Quest is the one with characters that look like they're from Dragon Ball Z.
Because they're
right?
done by Akira
Akira
Toriyama.
Toriyama.
But Builders is the Minecraft version of it.
Yeah.
That has like a plot and, like I said, the JRPG elements. I really enjoyed the demo, but I told myself I was like, I have too much coming out, so I cannot spend another $60 on a game.
Yeah. There's a lot of games coming out, and I'm like, I need to just pick like 2 or 3 for the rest of the year and be like, these are the ones that are like I'm absolutely getting, and then I'll get the other ones in the future. Because like,
yeah,
if I try to get them all at once, I'm gonna lose interest in one, or I'm not gonna play one. I'm gonna feel like I wasted my money.
That's my fear with anything like that's my fear with Ultimate Alliance, because I'm like, well, Fire Emblem comes out in a week, or like 4 or 5
So
days.
what you need to do is beat it as fast as you can, take it back, and exchange it for Fire Emblem.
I already have Fire Emblem paid off. I have everything paid off till September. So
I have nothing paid off.
I've been slowly doing it.
I don't even think I have anything pre-ordered right now.
Man, I don't know if I did anything else. I mean, I watched some anime. Mob Psycho finished up season 2 of the dub. I really liked it. It's better than One Punch Man, and that's why I'll argue that till I die. I guess the Mob Psycho franchise is better than.
Well, I don't think a lot of people are going to argue with you on that after season 2 of One Punch Man.
But even season 1 versus Mob Psycho, really? Season 1 I would argue Mob is better.
Because maybe I just put my expectations way too high for a second season of One Punch Man, but I thought the first season was some of the funniest anime.
It is. I think Mob is just, and this is what I told somebody, because somebody was talking to me about it, I think Mob is just very relatable over Saitama, who, even though Mob is overpowered, his relatability makes him a good character.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between him and Saitama. I don't feel relatable to him except for, like, the poor aspect of him, where he's like, I don't have any money, all that, but, like, outside of that...
I liked One Punch Man literally for everybody but Saitama.
Right, well, there's a comedy around it.
Right, but, like, Saitama is a good character, but there's other characters in the show that I was rooting for. Like, I think Moomin Rider is the greatest character.
I think he died in season 2. Don't quote me on that.
I haven't watched it, so like I haven't watched it all. I've watched the first episode, and I was like, if this is the best one, I don't know if I want to do this.
Their budget went out in the 3rd episode, from what I heard.
Yeah. So like for me, my favorite moment is episode 9 when all of them are basically being destroyed by the Deep Sea King.
Keep talking. I'm thinking.
And he's all like, Moomin Rider is just a regular dude on a bicycle, who's dressed up as a superhero, and he keeps standing up despite like getting like ripped apart and everything, and I'm like, that's a hero right there, man. Like, I don't know, I did a character essay on Gohan from Dragon Ball Z and why he's a great character regardless of if he trains or not, and I was like, it's because of the will to act rather than having the power to act that makes a hero. And a lot of people in the Dragon Ball community basically crucified me for that comment. And part of me is just like, whatever, I'm going to make Jake a mod now just so he can troll you. And I haven't regretted that decision yet.
Is he a mod?
Yeah, I made Jacob a mod this week.
What was I going to say? We did watch one other thing that we were forgetting.
Oh, what was it?
We watched Spider-Man 3.
Oh, yeah, we did watch Spider-Man 3.
So Wednesday night,
we were going to watch the trilogy, which is Spider-Man 3, Mulan 2, and then Mulan.
I actually really wanted to watch Lion King, but then I was thinking about Spider-Man. No, we watched that on Sunday.
Whatever day it was.
Yeah, well, actually, because Ryan stayed over. It was after the rest in peace. It was after, because we all came over, and so I would like to give my now probably not unpopular opinion. Spider-Man 3 is better than both the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
You're not wrong.
You can all... Maybe it sounds like I'm a Raimi fanboy, but, like, I enjoyed watching Spider-Man 3 more than I enjoyed watching either of the Amazing Spider-Man movies outside of the fight scene in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. But, like, the best part about Spider-Man 3 is that it doesn't care.
Right. Well, and the problem is...
It's so wild and wacky and clearly a love letter to the 60s comic book series. Well, and I'm just like, okay, I can get behind this. Like, my only complaint still is that, like, characters will appear when the script needs them to. Like, when Peter, like, and Harry fight at the beginning of that movie, and then Harry gets amnesia, he doesn't really do anything for, like, the next hour. And then, like, after Spider-Man beats up the Sandman, and he drowns him with the water, he doesn't really do anything for 40 minutes. And then Venom gets the suit, and then all those characters just magically come back into the story. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, I think my big thing with it is one, Raimi, you could tell was not.
Oh yeah, he was done.
Yeah, well, he wanted to do he wanted to do something else, but
Right.
they really wanted Venom, and so he was like, "Well, Spider-Man 4, I'll get back."
We talked about this. Apparently, all the Bruce Campbell cameos were supposed to lead to Mysterio,
right.
which I think is genius. And I've heard that like he wanted to do Lizard and he wanted to do all these other characters.
Spider-Man 4 was gonna have 3 villains.
Yeah, I think he was building towards Sinister Six.
Kind of. I think the big thing was
like his own version of it.
Yeah, I think they were gonna do Mysterio just as like a villain who's just there. Like,
yeah,
it's showing that hey, Peter's always fighting, and like open with
no matter what.
Yeah, open with him. Yeah, I think the opening was supposed to be like the bank rob scene where he stops Mysterio.
Yeah,
and it was gonna lead into. I don't know if Kurt Connors was gonna become the Lizard. We knew for sure Vulture was gonna be like a main villain.
Yeah,
but we didn't know about. We didn't know if
which is ironic because a lot of the future Spider-Man villains are the ones that Sam Raimi wanted to do.
Well, yeah, and Marvel, Kevin Feige has said that he doesn't want to do really repeat villains until he has to.
I don't blame him because I think that Spider-Man has probably the best rogues gallery in comics next to Batman.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I would say those are the two big ones for their villains.
Yeah, I mean, like, other people have, like, 1 or 2 villains, like Doom or Magneto or Galactus, but, like, not the consistency that...
But, like, Spider-Man, I can be reading a comic and Green Goblin can be the villain, and then literally the next issue could be Venom or Mysterio or Kraven or literally anybody. So, like, for me, like, I really like that the MCU didn't repeat any of the villains from the original trilogy. Like how Amazing Spider-Man reused Green Goblin, I thought that was a waste. I didn't think they should do that.
Sorry, I wanted to have this pulled up for our next.
Oh, for our next topic.
For when we move into next. Okay.
Yeah. So for me, like, I liked Spider-Man 3 a lot more than I remembered.
Same. And
now we
we
were talking especially about Emo Peter, and I was like, I actually don't mind Emo Peter anymore now that I think about it more.
Well, let's talk about...
This entire movie has been about Peter basically being kind of a jerk. Like, because he's letting his fame get to him slowly.
Well, right, and that's been his big thing is, like, Peter never had... Spider-Man is now, like, popular, he's accepted by the city.
He's loved by people, and, like, I think he struggles with wanting to be that regular guy. And they don't really explore that enough, but, like, for whatever reason, remembered Peter kissing Gwen Stacy as Spider-Man after he got the black suit, and it's not. It's before he even wears the black suit the first time, and I'm like, wow, Peter, you're being kind of a jerk in this movie. Like, even in scenes where you have no reason to be. Like, you kissed that girl the same way you had your first kiss with Mary Jane. What the heck's that all about? So, like, they're already setting up that, like, Peter's changed as a character, and I kind of like it. Just because of how different it is. I really appreciated J.K. Simmons as Jameson again.
Yeah, but I think his best role was in 2, where he was free to be, because in 3, they made him, like, pull back because they had the heart thing that they talked about. Yeah. But in 2, I think it was, like, fully let loose.
Yeah, 2, with him planning his son's wedding and everything, and then, like, at the very end...
He's like, call
Deborah. And she's like, the caterer? He's like, yeah, tell her not to open the caviar. I'm like... That is one of the funniest lines in that entire trilogy.
I do want to talk about... It's funny, I was talking to one of our coworkers.
Yeah.
I won't say names. They just saw Homecoming, or Far From Home, and they're like, I didn't understand the mid-credit scene. It was stupid. And I was like, what are you talking about? That's J.K. Simmons. Like, back as J. Jonah Jameson. And they were like, who's that? And I was like, have you never seen the Raimi movies? And they're like, no, I just started watching, like, Spider-Man, like, with Homecoming. And I was like...
Is this somebody you work with in the mornings?
You know who it is.
Okay, yeah.
And so I was like, well, I guess that makes sense.
Because I asked that person about Spider-Man, and they were like, the only Spider-Man movies I've seen are the ones in the MCU.
Yeah, which, I mean, is fair. Like, that person only seen stuff with Captain America, but it was like, they didn't understand why the audience, like, was like, when, like, he appears, because it meant more to us, because, like, that's what I told them. I was like, that was the cool thing, because, like, one, I read the spoiler, I didn't believe it until I saw it, because they were really adamant about not having, which we'll talk about something later about adamant not having people come back for different roles or same role.
Oh, yeah.
Which, like I said,
people are not happy.
They can shut up. Okay, so we're gonna lead into our big topic, was that Comic-Con is this week, or was this week. Before we get into what we really want to talk about, I want to talk about one other trailer that dropped. Well, I want to talk about 2. Steven Universe movie trailer dropped. No one watches it. I adore the show. For the love of God, just watch the show.
I've heard it's good.
Oh my gosh, the movie trailer has me so excited. It's our first time skip. Everyone actually aged up. I need to watch it. September 2nd cannot get here fast enough. Like, I think that was my most anticipated thing because none of these had trailers. Cool announcements, but we all knew all of them except for one of them. Well,
I would say probably two, maybe
the
three.
rest of these, we knew all these, which I'm pointing at things that you guys can't see. We knew all these, not this. So I guess 3 announcements that we didn't know.
Yeah.
But these 3 we knew. We knew basically everything except that. Anyway.
The other thing that I'm excited for was Walking Dead.
Well, we have another thing too.
Oh,
2 more things actually. I forgot. So Walking Dead. I heard season 10 trailer was good. Was that released online?
I haven't seen it yet.
So then it's not. So I guess the people at the panel said it was like phenomenal.
Yeah,
like
a lot of people are like they're setting this series up to go into a way different direction. I think.
Yeah. Now I have heard. I guess as a spoiler, I'll tell you it because I assume you'll eventually see it or you've already seen it.
Yeah.
Michonne's actress is leaving.
Yeah, I saw that.
So season 10's her last season.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that most of the original cast outside of like Norman Reedus and Maggie.
No, Maggie might come back, but Carol is still on the show.
So outside of them, I don't think there's any.
Everybody
cast.
else is gone. Yeah.
And
in the comic books, Carol died in prison, so like she's way outlived her character.
Yeah.
Which is fine, and then Daryl's not even a comic character, which I mean I don't really care as long as you can make an interesting character, which I think they have.
Yeah, I think Daryl's good. He was one of. I always remember the shirts everyone was wearing. Like, if you kill Daryl, we'll riot.
Yeah, if Daryl dies, we riot.
And which was cool because that was the one thing I liked about the show was that, and I like it. I like the idea of the show now.
Yeah.
Because it's different and like you don't know who's gonna live or die.
Right.
Which like it sucks because I think the comics have such a good ending, which we can talk about at some other later date. I want to read them all before we do that. Actually.
Yeah. I'm gonna be waiting for Compendium 4 to come out, and then I'm gonna read everything.
Yeah, else. I read the last issue, which I talked about.
Yeah, I found
before.
It online. And I read it. I thought it was really good.
It's really good.
I got pretty choked up actually, just because like seeing Carl as an older guy,
seeing everything, just like how it all plays out, and then like
they win.
They do, and that was the thing. Robert Kirkman said it was gonna be 1 of 2 endings. They win or
they lose.
They lose, and so like his original ending was they lose. He said it was going to end with the statue of Rick in Alexandria, and it was going to cut to like 30 years later. It was going to slowly pull back to everything just being destroyed by walkers.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, I'm glad you didn't do it that way because I feel like he was like, I was in a dark place when I wrote that, and he's like, if I was still in that dark place, I would have made that.
I don't know, man, because like, on one hand, I kind of like that, just because like, the comic book is way different than the show in terms of like, how things go from 0 to 100 real quick. Because you can turn one page and then all of a sudden a character's just killed themselves or gotten ripped apart by zombies.
He did say if everyone died, it would have been the most pointless read. And he said, I don't want that.
Yeah.
He said the only reason I would have done that is because I was just mad. And I was
like, now if like maybe 1 or 2 characters survive, then I'd love that. I'd be like, yeah, that's what happens. This is just the world they live in now.
But so the movie trailer that isn't really a movie trailer,
it's
basically an announcement teaser that hey, this is coming to theaters and it's Rick Grimes' story.
Yeah, and from what it looks like to me, that doesn't look like Atlanta.
I couldn't tell.
I thought maybe it was New York, which I'd like to see Rick in a way different environment.
Like, I'm hoping that whatever this means, it means it has a movie budget and not just because that was the rumor I heard that has a movie budget instead of just a show budget.
If it has a movie budget, then it's going to be, I think, really good.
The question will be how many people go see it.
I think your core Walking Dead audience goes and sees it.
But how many is that?
I mean, they still have a pretty good TV rating on AMC, so.
So what about 10 million people probably watch an episode? Let's do some math.
Like 10 million people see an episode. Let's say your movie ticket is $10. I don't know.
Let's say 11.
11? Okay.
So that means $110 million would be what it makes, and it's gross if everyone went and saw it.
But you have to think that there's probably going to be people who are like, oh, there's a movie, I might go see it.
Yeah, honestly, I'd probably see it. I don't watch the show anymore, but I'd probably see it.
Like, I think it'll do more than that, even, because people will go back and rewatch it.
Depending on how good it is.
Right. If it's good, I think that, like, people will be invested. I thought it was going to be a movie for TV.
That's what it was originally.
So when they said, oh, it's going to theaters, I was like, that gets me more excited, because that means that, like, they're treating this like a big deal, and they're gonna write this to be a movie that you see in theaters, not a movie that you would watch on TV.
Yeah.
And there's a drastic difference with, like, what you can do on TV versus what you can do in a movie. And in a world like The Walking Dead, they can address more serious issues in a more serious way. Like, it's going to be taken a lot more seriously, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to 2 trailers real quick.
Okay.
Shoot. First one's Watchmen. I don't know if you've seen it.
No, I didn't.
Looks pretty good. Looks weird. It takes place after the Watchmen movies.
Okay.
Or after the Watchmen movie, sorry.
The one with Dr. Manhattan's giant dongle.
Yeah. His huge penis.
I was so intimidated by that I never finished it.
So, outside of that, the story's really interesting and good, and so I'm kind of curious to see what a show's like. I'll have any expectations for it, but if it turns out to be good, it's good. The Witcher had a trailer.
The Netflix one? Yeah, that looks really good.
It does, and I wasn't really confident about it before. I like Henry Cavill. I think he's the best part of the DCEU. Prior to Wonder Woman and
I was watching that with one of my coworkers, and I said, honestly, if they respect this lore, if they take care of it really well, this could be probably the next Game of Thrones.
Does your coworker understand this is based on the books and not the games? Because the games deviate from the books.
Yes.
Okay. That was the thing I was talking about with somebody this morning. Is they played Witcher 3, and they were like, he read the books and played a little bit of Witcher 3, and he's like, honestly, it deviates. This is good because the books are over, the games aren't, and the games deviate because it's your story. Mm-hmm. Like, there is a plot, an overall plot, but
and I'm just like, that's fine. As long as they can adapt source material to where everybody likes it, it'll be fine.
Yeah, which like the trailer looks good.
I've heard that the books are incredible.
Yeah,
so I'm just like, if you can adapt a book series, and Netflix is usually pretty good at adapting things.
Yeah, I did make a case for Ender's Game adaptation on Netflix. So
yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to get your thoughts on it because I thought the trailer looked good.
I thought it looked good. I'm gonna probably watch it.
I for sure will, but we'll see if it turns out to actually be good or not.
Henry Cavill is my reasoning for wanting to watch it. Like,
are you done talking?
Yeah, I'm watching what you're doing.
So let's talk about.
I think I left my drink out in the freaking...
It's right there on the floor.
Oh, it's on the floor?
Stupid.
Hey, I was about to get up and storm out of here to get my drink, but somehow it... Brian, you've been looking out for me, man.
I moved... I do everything! And that's not your bit. Okay. So, the big thing is Marvel Phase 4.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to talk about, we're going to try to break these down into each thing. So, this is if you can't see it for you guys, this is the spreadsheet of all the announcement with cast, any story detail that's under it, and I'll try to read through it.
It's Brown Recluse.
But here's the release.
Externals,
I'm going to switch between the two of them.
Cosmo and Wanda. Summer Boy and...
You know, the Shark Boy and the Legend of the Six Ring Beer Can.
I can't read it now. You minimized it.
This is the one you were reading from before.
No, click it again where it was real big.
This is what it was.
No, there was the other one. Not that.
Well, it's big now.
That one. That was the one. We got... I'm real excited for the Cosmo and Wanda story on Disney+. I don't know how they got the rights to that name.
Probably bought Nickelodeon.
That wouldn't surprise me with the Disney FU money that they have. I'm real curious about this what if. Is it what if Thanos won? What if Jeff Bridges' character killed Tony?
You want to start talking about these, or you want to keep? Okay. So let's start with Black Widow. I'm going to try to do them in order of release, and I'll explain if they're theatrical or not. So Black Widow, of course, a theatrical movie. According to everything they learned during interviews and stuff. Of course, David Hayter's in it. The woman from...
Wait, David Hayter's in this?
Haber.
Oh, I thought you said
Sorry,
Hayter.
I did.
I was like, David Hayter, the guy who voiced Solid Snake, I am so down.
No, freaking Hellboy.
Oh.
Florence Pugh, which is she was the lead actress in Midsommar, which is probably one of the highlights of the movie. I know I tried to talk about it while stuff was happening last week, so.
Midsommar was not good.
It's not good, but she's good in it.
But
Rachel Weisz.
Rachel Weisz.
Wise. It looks like Weisz from here. Is that an I? It looks like a T.
It's like W-E-I-E-Z.
Yeah, looks like a T on this thing. Set after Civil War, Natasha returns to Budapest. Taskmaster is the villain. And then so the big thing is
Wait, so it's set after Civil War?
After Civil War.
But before she died, obviously.
She dies?
Yeah, in Endgame.
I haven't seen Endgame.
Yes, you have. Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday to the greatest day. The in-game pass Avatar officially today.
I was like, why did you say happy birthday?
Because it's happy birthday.
I was just going to say we should celebrate that Tony loved us 3,000 and he did it.
So I saw it 3,000 times.
How many hours would that be, actually? You got your calculator pulled up. Find that out.
How many would 3,000 hours be?
If you saw Endgame 3,000 times, being that it's 3 hours, I think that's like 90...
3 times
3,000.
That's, of course,
9,000 hours.
So divide that... No, hold on. You divide that by 24, which is how many hours in a day?
375. The movie hasn't even been out a year. You can't have done that.
I did.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No,
you weren't there.
I know you well enough to know that you have not spent 375 days in theaters watching Endgame.
How do you know?
I know. You're literally right here not watching Endgame.
Well,
you just like fade away.
Black Widow, of course. Interesting. I don't really like... I'm excited for it because it's an MCU, but it's my least
Is Hawkeye gonna be in it?
Maybe.
He better be if it's after Civil War. Oh wait, no, he'll be on house arrest.
Mm-hmm.
So he won't be in it.
No. But he might if they do flashbacks to Budapest.
Oh, I guess that's true.
Because
they went to Budapest together with Fury, so...
No, so the story, he met her in Budapest, that's where he stopped her the first time.
Okay.
So this is my least excited of all these announcements, like all of them.
Part of me is like, how is this going to matter in the grand scheme of things?
Because the Florence woman from the Midsommar girl...
She's going to be the new Black Widow.
Basically, yeah. The Yeltan Belov, which is not correct at all, and I'm going to just keep pronouncing it differently every time we talk about it.
Yeltan Boulevard. Yeltan Boulevard. Yellow Boulevard.
Yeltan Beloved is the second Black Widow in the comics. So I think that's what they're leading towards.
So what you're saying is these new superheroes are just going to be the second version, so like...
Kind of. I was going to say no, but it's a bad example for the next thing that's coming out. So in next order of release is the Falcon and Winter Soldier Disney Plus series.
Which is the new Captain America.
Yes. Which, so the things that were confirmed is, of course, Daniel Daniel Brawley is coming back as Zemo, and in the teaser they released, not that we got to see it.
He's wearing the mask.
He's wearing the purple mask. He's escaped from prison. We do know that Sam wears the Captain American Falcon costume at some point.
Yeah.
And so that's all we know about it. It comes out in between this and the next movie, which is good. I like the idea of having these
TV series.
These shows that are going to lead into other stuff, because I think...
Do they have a set release date on that?
Let's look at the thing. I think it's... fall 2020.
Oh, so it's not this year, it's next year.
So all of this is 2020 to 2021.
Right, so we have nothing coming out this year.
No, we're not.
Right, that's what I was more concerned about that, because I was like, surely they would have something launch on Disney Plus.
Mandalorian.
Right, that's going to be the big
and
thing.
Star Wars episode 7,
the
Clone Wars season 7. I think. Might be spring. If it's not, I think it's spring, because none of these come out until fall.
Yeah.
So it's got to be... okay, so let's move on to the next one. Eternals. This is the one that... there's a plot release somewhere. I'd have to find it.
So I know nothing about the Eternals.
Thanos will be in it.
Thanos will be in it.
So this will be like this will be part of his prequel movie / So I'm gonna read off some of the cast. I'm gonna be honest.
The big one is that Angelina Jolie is in it. I think that's gonna be the big appeal for a lot of people.
Richard Madden, who played Robb Stark, and was in Rocketman, is in it.
Yeah.
Camille Najima. I'm so sorry, Camille. I can't pronounce your last name, but he was he's in The Big Sick. If you saw that.
Yeah.
He's really funny, and so he's in it. He's been bulking up, and everyone kind of knew that he was going to be in it. They got a pretty stellar cast: Tyree Henry, Lauren Ridloff, Don Lee, Salim Haidaka. I'm sorry, I cannot read any of these. there's one other person, but they said officially this is not the full cast. So there are still 2 more roles, and one of them everyone thinks is Keanu Reeves because the villain has not been cast.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
We actually talked about that a little bit on Facebook today with one of our viewers or listeners.
Yeah, friends. And I'd be okay with it if he gets to be a villain that stays around.
That's what I'm saying. I think that the villain that's going to stick around is going to be Doctor Doom. Like, of
well,
the
for
next
sure.
big villains.
But I mean, like, Doom won't be in Eternals.
No,
but I
obviously.
like. So this is what I'm talking about, though. Eternals and the next thing releasing are properties that I don't know much about.
Mm-hmm.
So for once in my life, I get to go in them and enjoy them and not have a, hey, this is how it was in the comics. So this is what irritates me.
That's what I'm super excited for too.
Yeah.
I don't get to be that smart aleck fan who's like, well, they didn't say this line, so I'm gonna be all like bitter about it. I almost said a different word mixed with bitter, and I was like, I don't know how that's gonna work.
Yeah, I was really confused where you're going there.
But like, you know, like how when Captain America stands up in Endgame,
doesn't say that as long as one man stands against you.
We talked about that like 3 weeks in a row on this show. I was just like, man, at the end of the day, that shouldn't matter, but it does.
Because it bothers me, because I know.
Right. But so, like, for me, they could do whatever they want with Eternals, and I'm just going to be like, yeah, all right, I'll see it, I'll trust you, Marvel. I trusted you with Guardians of the Galaxy, and you didn't prove me wrong there, so I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. And I think most of the people that I know in that movie are pretty good, so.
Okay, so I'm super excited for Eternals. The basic plot I know is that some group sends something to Earth, and so the Eternals are sent to protect Earth.
I was going to say Mrs. Smith gets the power of the Eternals. She joins them.
I hate you so much. So I'm curious about it. So moving on to the next thing, I think. Yes, the next thing in release is Shang-Chi. Which the only reason I'm super excited for is because it's called Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Yeah.
Which means that they confirmed the real Mandarin will be it, basically, after the fan backlash.
Well, I mean, I felt like they were going to do that anyway.
Eventually, but
I was like, there's no way they're just going to have an actor play the Mandarin and the real Mandarin not ever eventually come into the MCU.
Yeah, so he's played by Tony Leung, I think is how it's pronounced. Is playing the Mandarin.
Yeah.
Simu Ling, I'm so sorry, is playing Shang-Chi. And then oh my gosh.
So, like, do you know anything about Shang-Chi?
He knows Kung Fu.
I bet he watched The Art of Self-Defense.
Yeah, I doubt that. But has the 10 rings in it. Could be super cool. This movie, like we were talking about with Mulan, is not made for American audiences. It's made for China.
It's for China.
And I know, I was reading, reports have already broke out that have like been the biggest news stories of 2019, which were rumors of a Shang-Chi movie. Were the biggest news articles in China. Or that they were making a Chinese superhero movie. Marvel was. So...
And it's like an all Chinese cast, and they're handling it.
And director,
well.
and like...
Yeah,
I think director, I might be wrong, but...
That's a big deal. It's the same like with Black Panther. Like, people gotta realize that, like, they're making superhero movies for everybody. Like, and like, some people get really mad when they're like, well, why is it gotta be a black superhero movie?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, because we've had all these other movies for a general audience, but they can't get that market for whatever reason to, like, be invested.
Yeah.
And these characters have something to say that's important for everybody, not just us.
So Shang-Chi, February 12th, 2021, which originally people were like, well, it's Black Panther. That's Chinese New Year, which means that's a big deal.
Yeah.
So that release date, which is going to be weird because that means that probably Black Panther and Shang-Chi will always fight for the February release date. So if I had to guess, Black Panther 2, which we'll get to in a minute.
I feel like Black Panther 2 will be pushed back for that specifically.
We'll talk about what I think's happening. So next is WandaVision, which confirmed that Elizabeth Olsen's returning, Paul Bettany is returning, and then a girl, I can't pronounce her name, I'm not even going to try, something Paris, I can't even see the first part of it, is playing, do you remember in Captain Marvel, the little girl?
Oh, yeah.
The best friend's daughter?
Mm-hmm.
She's in it. An older version of her's in it.
Okay.
Playing some character in this series.
Alright.
So the big deal about this show, we don't know much about it, except that it's set after Endgame, and that it directly leads into our next movie, which is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which has him and Elizabeth Olsen in it.
Mm-hmm.
The thing we know is that Scott Derrickson is returning to direct. He said this is the first scary movie of the MCU. We know that Nightmare is the villain, and we know that it ties directly into WandaVision. So,
my guess, with it being called Into the Multiverse
of Madness,
or Multiverse of Madness, is that all these universes are going to start to collide and they're going to have to stop it.
Maybe because
And
that'll
maybe
lead into...
Maybe they'll pull Vision from a different multiverse into this one.
Yeah, that's because that's a theory I have with something else. But we'll talk about that when we get to it.
You just put your finger on your computer screen.
Yeah, so...
I hope that it somehow messed it up, just to make
It's broken. I hope you're happy. You're freaking...
Oh, is it broken for real?
It's on fire. May 7th, which this is what's the big thing for me, is that they trust the Doctor Strange. May has always been, and that's the name of Black Widow, but I mean, like, I get it. Doctor Strange is probably a household name now. May has always been the big Marvel movie of the year. Like, whatever one they have full confidence in has always been that. Or April. So, like, Captain America, Winter Soldier, Avengers, all of them, Guardians
or like
2,
April or May. Yeah.
Have always been that, like, they kick off the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what was interesting to me. Like, any character they don't fully trust, but, like, no make money, gets any other time.
I think with it being Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch and them fighting aliens and other people from other dimensions, like, it's going to be weird, it's going to be trippy, and people are going to be interested. I don't know. I've been wondering what they were going to do with Doctor Strange as a sequel for a while, so the idea that they're tackling a multiverse, he's the perfect character.
Yeah, I'm hoping that WandaVision ends with Vision dying again, or, like, Vision not being real, and we learn that he's from a different dimension, and she loses it, and that's what causes this. She rips open a portal into, like,
with how
the
powerful
multiverse.
her, like, Mind Stone powers are or whatever, yeah. Because in the comics, Scarlet Witch is, like, super powerful.
Mm-hmm. So the next two are Disney Plus shows.
Yeah.
Which they kind of lead into each other, and I have a theory for something after this, so don't let me forget.
Okay.
So the first one in spring 2021 is Loki. We know for sure it follows the 2012 timeline after Endgame, where he takes off with the Tesseract.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So that's all we know. Tom Hiddleston, of course, is returning. I'm curious to see what it does, what it's like. I'm hoping that's not completely that, but we'll see. The other thing is the What If. So it's Jeffrey Wright is voicing the Watcher, which he'll be like the narrator of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And the Watcher is going to show different universes with different things that happen. It's all animated.
Right.
The first episode, like we talked about a long time ago, is Peggy Carter becoming the super soldier instead of Steve Rogers, but Steve is still, like, fighting alongside.
Yeah.
But it's basically her as Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
It's all animated. What If could be really interesting depending on what they do.
Mm-hmm.
There's
a whole lot of different questions they could ask. Like,
yeah.
What if, like, Cap signed the Accords? What if this happened? What if...
Yeah, what if Cap was never able to lift Thor's hammer? What if Thor was never able to lift his hammer? And so there was a what if that I thought they would do, but they're making a movie instead. Because it's not a what if because it is a comic line. We'll get to it in a minute. But they did confirm that all the MCU actors are coming back to their voices.
Yeah.
So Chris Evans will come back for Steve.
Yeah.
And so that way they never have to fully leave the role.
Yeah.
They can always come back and do the animated voice because it takes like a couple days of recording and then you're done.
Yeah.
I don't know what if it's going to really contain. Once we see a trailer.
It'll probably just be like a few episodes or whatever.
I've heard that none of these are more than 6 to 8 episodes.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that that's what if is too, and then like maybe every 2 years we get another set of them.
Yeah.
I hope it's hand-drawn animation.
I would prefer that too.
Because I would rather have that than like the hyper-realistic looking CGI stuff, but we'll see what they do. I heard it was animated, but animated can be very vague on what it is. Yeah,
because animation has changed.
Yeah, so I know we're getting really boring here. You guys love listening to us talk. So I have a theory.
Okay.
Before we get to our last movie and show. There is a pretty big gap between the May 7th release date and the November 5th, 2021. So as you know, Spider-Man is on an every other year rotation.
Yeah.
So I think July or August of 2021 will be his release date. For Spider-Man 3. I don't have any proof of that, and they don't announce that here because that's a Sony thing.
Yeah.
But That's my theory, is that we're going to get a July, because especially after Far From Home's going to make $1 billion in July, they'll probably do it there again too.
Yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't put Spider-Man at the July 4th slot just because of how big of an American icon Spider-Man is. And the 4th of July is one of the most popular days to go to the movies. You go to the movies, and after that, you shoot fireworks.
Yeah, you go while it's hot, and then...
Yeah.
So that's my theory.
Mm-hmm. I can see that happening.
So the last two announcements or release dates we have are kind of release dates.
Let's talk about the one on the bottom first.
This one?
Yeah.
So Hawkeye. So we don't... Oh, it does come out before. So Hawkeye, at least on their release schedule timeline thing Marvel gave,
Yeah.
Hawkeye releases in fall 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Has Jeremy Renner returning with Kate Bishop, and we'll explore Clint's time as Ronin as a Disney Plus TV series, which is great. I think Hawkeye has always deserved more recognition, but
Hawkeye
he just didn't need a movie.
An underrated character.
Yes.
I think. And a lot of people don't understand why he's so cool in the comics. It's because, like, he's one of the most prepared, one of the most important Avengers. Like, he's there for everything.
Yeah, I think Hawkeye is super interesting, and this is based off a run they did back, I think, like 2013, which everyone really liked. So I'm curious about it. I'm glad they're doing a show, giving more time to flesh out his character, because I thought in Age of Ultron he was, like, really good.
Yeah, I thought he was the highlight of that movie.
Yeah.
That was, like, the closest...
Don't you dare yawn! I'm trying not to yawn over here, and I see you getting ready to. So stop it. What? Have you ever been on a podcast before, sir?
No. Why are you holding that knife?
I just think I'm working with amateurs right now. Ryan, stop talking! Dear Lord, he just...
I think Brandon's seeing things again.
So, yeah, super excited for Hawkeye. Thor: Love and Thunder, which is a weird name, but somebody tweeted out I'd rather have that than like Thor Returns or Thor 3 or Thor 4, which then sounds stupid.
I like Love and Thunder as a title because it obviously means it's something different.
Yeah.
So I agree.
And it looks like another one to go along with Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. So basically, it's following the story.
Taika Waititi is back to direct.
Right.
For sure, Chris Hemsworth, Tessa Thompson, Natalie Portman are coming back.
Right, and it's going to focus on female Thor.
Lady Thor, but she's not the main character.
Right.
Which is something I saw people tweeting about. They're like, oh, it sucks that Thor's not going to be the main character. I'm like, he is. He's just not. Like, there's multiple main characters.
Do you think that this movie is basically just going to be a love triangle between him, Valkyrie, and Lady Thor?
Probably.
I don't know how I feel about that, considering Lady Sif is still out there somewhere, man.
Well, it doesn't mean that Natalie Portman's character doesn't turn and, like Valkyrie.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. 'Cause, like, to me, that's the biggest question I've had about Ragnarok since, is that...
Well, we knew Valkyrie was gay, or bi in that.
No, not that. I don't really care about that. I'm talking about Lady Sif. She's still out there, too.
Yeah.
Do you think that they're ever going to acknowledge that?
Hopefully. Jamie Alexander is really good as an actress.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they should bring her back.
And they didn't kill her in Ragnarok, so
right.
I think
that's why I'm like, she should be in Thor: Love and Thunder, because like she had some chemistry with Thor too. Just go nuts on this whole Thor's rogues gallery of women kind of thing, because he flirts with like everybody. He even was flirting with Gamora on Peter Quill's ship.
Yeah. So here's the downside to it though, and this is what some people were talking about. And I was like, yeah, it sucks to an extent. It either means the Guardians are in it, or that whatever he does with the Guardians either takes place before, like Guardians Volume 3 takes place before Love and Thunder, which I feel like can't happen, or it means that like he goes off with him for like a couple days and then he's like, oh, I gotta go.
I don't know. So like, yeah, that is a good point. Like, because if that's the case, then Taika Waititi is directing the Guardians.
No.
Like, I mean,
in the movie, yeah.
So it's like, how does that tie in? Like, obviously James Gunn is going to want to have something to do with that because that's his baby. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm hopeful for it. The biggest thing that I've seen people talking about is Natalie Portman coming back.
Because you either love it or hate it.
Mm-hmm. I think it's fine.
I think the problem with Natalie Portman wasn't that she's a bad actress, is that she was given nothing to do.
Right.
And
I said that. I was like, the scripts for Thor 1 and 2 don't do her character any justice for being there. She's just there.
Yeah.
Because it was the trope to have a love interest for a superhero in a superhero movie.
She's eye candy.
Right.
And that's all she was. And that's what that's what I'm hoping for with this. They can change her and revamp her character like they did Thor's.
Well, like, yeah, like every character I think that like hasn't been given a fair chance should be, and I think Natalie Portman is more than a good enough actress to do that. Like for people to be like she was better in Star Wars than she was Thor, kind of makes me mad, because that's not her fault. Like, I thought that she was fine as a character in the movies. They just didn't do enough with her.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And that's where I think it might come down to is that I'm really excited for Lady Thor.
Yeah,
but
I think the story's fine. I've read it.
And like the comic line is really fun. So like
yeah, it gets weird
because she like when she talks, it's the Asgardian like very poetic, very like mature, but in her mind she's still like she's talking like she would on Earth.
Yeah,
and so it's super cool that like when she's wielding Mjolnir, they just like have it translated.
Right, and people are like, how is she going to be worthy? And I'm like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but so this is my theory. So, the Multiverse of Madness leads into probably whatever's going to start coming. I think it's going to be like the Winter Soldier.
That's going to be the most important movie of Phase 4.
Yeah, and I think that's why I'm
just
most
by
excited
default,
for it.
Next to like Shang-Chi for money reasons, obviously. But
well, and like worldwide. But let's talk about one last thing of the MCU. So, August 2. So, the panel starts to end. Kevin Feige says, I'm sorry we don't have time, so this may be D23, but we know for sure that all these are Phase 5. So it means Phase 5 starts in 2022.
Yeah.
He said, of course we're working on Guardians 3, Black Panther 2, Captain Marvel 2, X-Men, and Fantastic Four. Or mutants. He doesn't say X-Men, he says mutants. So I don't know what that will fully mean. We'll find out.
That probably means we don't want you to think about X-Men because of Dark Phoenix for a few more years, just in case. Like.
Yeah, I think... So here's my other theory. So here's what I think. 2022 is going to be Black Panther 2. Mm-hmm. And then 2023, because they're keeping the February release date because of how well
put Shang-Chi there instead.
It'll alternate.
Yeah.
Unless Shang-Chi just bombs.
I just don't see that happening.
I don't either, but if it does, I think that's what happens. I think they switch release dates because of, like, it's Black History Month here in North America.
Right.
And so you can alternate them. Fantastic Four, I think it's 2023 because that's the 60th anniversary of Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
So I think that's when we see it, which sucks because I really wanted them out 2022. But I think 2022 is Guardians 3, Black Panther 2, and then probably something else. But we'll see. So the last thing, though, they did all that. They brought Mahershala Ali out, which blew my mind, and they announced him as Blade. And that they're making a Blade movie, which I think will be the November of 2022.
Yeah.
I think next year, or 2022, will be Guardians 3, Black Panther 2, Guardians 3, and Blade. Which...
Yeah. That Blade reveal was pretty sweet.
It was.
I like that Mahershala Ali is doing it.
Which is weird because he was caught in mouth. But this is where...
I don't really give a crap.
But I think this is where officially you know, like, the Netflix stuff is not canon.
Yeah.
That...
I would agree. Which means that, like, all those characters can be done in movies.
Yeah, well,
like,
that and...
I do think out of all of them, Daredevil you'll definitely see.
Yeah, and that's the theory of Spider-Man 3, which we were talking about last night after the movie.
And I about lost my mind when you said that, when you were like, Spider-Man's going to need a lawyer, and I was like, that's freaking perfect, because Matt Murdock is already in New York. He ain't even got to go very far to find one.
And no one's going to want to represent him. And so Matt might just be like, or they could make Matt the superhero lawyer. And anyway, but I have theories. We'll find out once.
He'll be the public defender. He'll be like, it's fine.
Yeah, Sony will announce it soon enough, I assume. We'll probably know. I would say after Far From Home crosses $1 billion, we'll probably start to hear like announcements for whatever Spider-Man 3 is.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna look, but I think it's. But Mahershala Ali's Blade really caught me off guard because I really wanted Wesley Snipes back, but I also wanted just Blade in general.
Okay, here's my problem with that. If we start bringing back older actors that play other superhero movies, then people are gonna get confused as a general audience.
And I think there's two sides to that. I agree with you, but I also feel like if we're gonna let J.K. Simmons back, we can't just be like selective on it. That eventually we're all gonna have to come together and be like, look.
Sure, I get that, but I don't know. I think it's a good idea to let somebody else play that character.
I do too.
And I think Mahershala Ali is a better actor than Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, so Spider-Man Far From Home is $30 million away from $1 billion.
Yeah, it'll cross. I'm surprised it hasn't already, to be honest.
Well, it's because North America, the money started to drop real quick because Lion King's out. So,
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. But internationally, it'll do fine.
Oh, it'll be fine. It'll cross it. Worst case, a week or two more.
Yeah.
Same thing with Aladdin's about to cross $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
It's 12 million away.
Listen, we were talking about Avatar and Endgame earlier and how they will just get into an endless cycle of re-releasing each other to battle for top spot, and I was like, you know who's benefiting from this, right? It's the three circles, man. Like, Mickey Mouse is just sitting there and he's like, we're going to dominate the planet now. We're breaking into China with Mulan and Shang-Chi. Have you noticed that we basically have only been talking about Disney like this whole show?
We saw the RSL Fence.
Who published that movie?
Some like indie studio that I don't recognize.
Who owns that?
Something Street. Let's look.
Bleecker Street.
Yeah.
Is what it was.
Hey, I'm talking here.
Who's the parent company of Bleecker Street?
You
If it's
are-
Disney, I'm gonna laugh.
typing, sir. Gosh, you just Can you please keep talking, sir? I'm trying to do this.
I'm trying to think of something to say that's actually relevant.
I think they're their own company.
Breaking news:
It's a private.
Disney to buy Bleecker Street.
Yeah, they're their own thing. Oh wait, hold on. No, so it was formed by an ex-CEO of Focus Features.
I don't know what that is.
You would actually, but if I showed you.
Oh, okay.
They're owned by Comcast.
Well, anyway, I'm trying to think of something to
You know
say.
this logo? Have you ever seen this logo?
I think so, but
I bet if you saw a movie. Let me see what movies they made. Focus Features. Where's the list of films? List of Focus Feature films. Oh gosh.
I like that we're just now researching things on Wikipedia.
Eternal
to make our
Sunshine of
podcast.
Spotless Mind.
Let me think of something.
Pride and Prejudice. Brokeback Mountain.
Okay, I've seen some of those.
There's a lot of movies. Dan in Real Life. I don't know if you saw that.
I've seen Dan in real life.
Coraline.
Oh, I've seen Coraline. Okay, yeah.
9
I don't remember 9 that much. I remember it being some animated movie, but
is weird.
I don't remember anything about it.
Paranorman.
I loved Paranorman. Paranorman was really good.
They did The World's End. Was that which one is this? Oh, that's Edgar Wright.
Paranorman's one of those few movies that handles having a gay character in it and not making it such a big
They
deal.
did 50 Shades of Grey, stupid.
He did?
This company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quit calling me stupid, man. I'm not the one that died to a prostate exam at a Walmart.
I thought... Wow, they did a lot of films, actually. Like Lady Bird, Phantom Thread, Darkest Hour.
So they do, like, all the indie films that you like.
Won't You Be My Neighbor?
I loved that.
Black Klansman.
I didn't see it, but I heard it was great.
On the Basis of Sex, which wasn't great. It was okay.
I heard that was fine. There was this guy on our show once who talked about it, but I didn't really listen to him too much.
They're doing Downton Abbey, which my mom won't be excited for.
Downton Abbey was good. My mom liked that show.
My mom adores it. She's so excited for the movie.
Is that just a show that just appeals to moms all around the world?
Happy Hogan and Iron Man 3 liked it.
Oh, yeah?
Remember when he's in the hospital and he's like... And Tony's like, hey, you gotta, like, put Downton Abbey on. He really cares about him. He's like... And the nurse is like, oh, cool, I like Downton Abbey. And he's like...
that-
and then that's what happens.
That's from Iron Man 3?
Yeah, it's the extended cut.
Oh, okay, that's why I didn't know that.
And the extended cut is just the audio that I gave, but Tony really says all that stuff. I can pull up a clip, actually. But I won't do it.
You don't have to do that.
I won't do it because I don't want us to get copyright strikes.
I was going to say, yeah, please don't. We got a good thing here flying under the radar of the FCC. Like, we're a pretty good Christian-based company. We don't swear and say indignant things.
That candle was blown for a while. It was there's a lot of wax.
Oh, were you worried about the candle, like, making the wax boil up and explode and
Probably
slather all over
burning
the walls?
everything down and, just ruining all this that we worked for.
We would
all
join
this
Ron.
podcast money that we use to buy
Oh,
this
speaking of
equipment.
money, I actually have to pay my weekly fee to stay on the show. Brandon charges us $95 a week to come over to his house. And I actually haven't done that yet. So, like, that's actually something that I have to do on the show. Let's see. 20, 40, 60, 80. $95. There you go. I'm gonna do some ASMR. We're gonna count money. Now I'm gonna count again. 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 95. This has been Nothing Coherence ASMR, because I don't know what AMR is, and I'm gonna just enjoy this for another moment. Let's count again. I hope you've been enjoying our ASMR podcast. Okay, so now that I had to sit there for that, what else we got?
I don't know. Well, anything else?
We were talking about Marvel for a little bit. We talked about movies.
Any games you excited for?
You know, like...
Did you see Amazon had a sale where you could buy... Fallout... This is the only... There was only two that mattered. Starlink and Fallout 76 were $15, but if you bought them, you got $15 in Amazon credit.
That's actually kind of cool.
So it's basically they're just giving you the game because they need to get rid of it.
Fallout 76.
Almost bought it.
I saw a meme of Fallout 76 the other day. It's clearly fake, but it was really funny.
Keep talking.
It was at Best Buy, and you know like how they have the little tag on the shelf to tell you how much the game is?
Yeah.
Somebody photoshopped over the little yellow sticker, just buy the effing game, please. And it was like $0.12. I was just like, are you serious? I would buy Fallout 76 for 12 cents. I still have my full copy. I still have my copy that I paid the full $60 for, so like I'm really meta.
It is $17 right now on Amazon.
That's worth $17.
Your price at checkout is $15. So I think this is where if you buy it, you get the $15 coupon.
To be perfectly honest, that game is worth $17. Like, if you're on the fence about Fallout 76, I played it when right after E3, like to see how like it ran and everything. It runs a lot better. It's a lot more fun. I actually like the Battle Royale mode, so I'll probably play Nuclear Winter once they fully release that.
As far as games go, it's the third highest selling game on Amazon right now. Like just pure games and not that's a gift card or anything.
Well, I was gonna say that's probably because of the credit thing that they're giving out.
Dude, Pokemon's on sale for $35.
Which Pokemon?
Let's Go.
Oh, really? I didn't like Let's Go that much.
Yeah, that's fine.
To be honest, like I liked some of the mechanics, but I wanted to get back to its core gameplay. Let's see what games are coming out this year. There was Marvel, which you said that you liked.
Yeah.
Ultimate Alliance. The Avengers game comes out in what, like a few months?
May.
Oh, it comes out in May of 2020. I thought it was September for some reason.
God, I could not. It was in September. I couldn't do it. There's too many games in September.
Yeah. Luigi from Luigi's Mansion 3.
I'm seeing if this has the $10 deal if I have to buy from Amazon for that $10 deal.
You probably do.
Basically you get $10 in credit.
Yeah.
And since I'm going to be gone when it comes out, I figured I would just order it through a website.
Yeah, so, I would give you my thoughts on Animal Crossing, but I think I'll delay that.
Do you actually play it?
Oh, I was making a joke about how it got delayed.
It wasn't very funny.
It wasn't meant to be. It was meant to make you upset. You looked dead inside over
Well,
there.
joke's on you. I'm always upset with you on this podcast.
Hey.
Because you're a horrible guest.
I'm not a guest.
I don't understand why I keep having you back.
I'm not a guest. I'm a co-host.
So let's give a round of applause for guest Zach. Ryan, I told you to stop clapping so loud.
You can't do that bit. That's not your bit. You didn't come up with that. I'm just looking around your room since we're in a different environment, just checking out all the cool stuff. I like the Mario Maker construction hard hat that you have up there.
Yeah, everyone took the Luigi one when I went to the release.
They took the Luigi one?
Yeah, so they were like, hey, you can have a hard hat, but we only have Mario. And I was like,
okay.
That's okay, I like Mario. And they're like, well, everyone else likes Luigi. And I was like, oh, okay, that's what everyone else likes.
Hey, listen. I get why people like Luigi. Here's the thing, man. Everybody wants to be like Mario, but we're all just Luigis.
I'm not the younger brother, so I'll have to deal with that. I'm the Mario.
I'm a Mario too, but like I'm talking about in terms of like success, terms of like just everything that you've gotten in your life. You just get whatever you want because you're Mario. Like you make a few jumps and all of a sudden you got this princess that wants to sleep with you.
She makes some cake, you perv.
Whatever, you know that something's going on besides that.
Cake.
No. Like, I mean, like, Luigi freaking fights Ghost and he gets nothing.
Mario fights Booze.
No, like, Luigi fights Ghost. Mario turns away from them so that they don't follow him. And then you have this giant turtle that, like, I don't know if he's actually his enemy or just somebody that he races go-karts with on Saturday. Like, I don't know what the real deal is with Bowser, man.
You don't think that Mario's a bit of a racist?
I don't know, man. I think Mario's kind of sketch, man. Have you seen the video about Mario being crazy and how he punches Yoshi in the back of the head to make him jump?
Yeah.
I kind of cried when I read that. I was like, man, Mario used to be my favorite. And y'all just ruined it.
You're all welcome, an axe I just played on my phone.
What was that?
It's called The Fresh Axe of Bel-Air, and I decided to click it off.
Oh, The Fresh Axe of Bel-Air.
No, yeah.
Huh. I'm just trying to think of games that I really want to get. Obviously Outer Worlds, because I'm just a whore for Obsidian. Not even Bethesda, but Obsidian specifically. Speaking of which, I played a little bit more Fallout New Vegas, which is just going to be the thing that I talk about on this show now for the next 11 and a half minutes. So I started a new character in Fallout New Vegas just because I wanted to see what I could do in under an hour and see how far I could get. So I started this speed run and I named my character Speedy Gonzalez. And I put his agility at 10 and I boosted like his survival skill up pretty high so I could get this perk called Travel Light, which makes you move 10% faster. And the doctors, like, I would go around and I would get this drug called Turbo, which allows you to move as fast as you can in that game. And I'm sprinting through the game, and I actually got to the end of Fallout New Vegas playing as that character doing the Yes Man route in under, like, 4 hours. I was pretty impressed that I beat Fallout New Vegas in under 4 hours.
So what?
So I'm going to make a new character tonight.
While he's talking, I'm going to read this article in ASMR.
Oh, it's time for a new thing on the show where I read inbox messages from my Facebook.
A new Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime series is now in production for 2020.
Hey, I actually want to hear that. Can you speak up?
Are you ready to go
Can you speak up, please? I can't hear you.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans, it has been a bit since fans were
Is
introduced
Dark Magician
to a
gonna be on
new
the show?
generation of the Duel Masters.
Hey.
But that will change before long as 2020 wraps up.
Don't put your finger down, man. I'm trying to read the article.
The new year is looking for the future of Yu-Gi-Oh! And a new reports confirms it's ushered in even new anime.
This is going to be such an impossible episode to edit.
So far, there are a few details about this new anime project, but it will go live in 2020. Currently, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is on air in Japan thanks to Arc V, which sucks. There are no awards and the current series will end, but fans expect the show to come to a close for some time now because everyone hates it. This new anime will rewrite the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! What does that mean? Maybe it's a sequel series. Maybe Zack sucks a lot and he just can't. Oh god, he's looking at me. I'm so sorry for everything I've done. Look,
You better be sorry.
look, hey. It
I'll
turns
send
out
you that Walmart.
It turns out Zach can't read or hear anything.
I can read.
Actually just mute. And I'm so sorry.
Let's give a quick shout out to Pongo the Doggo. You ain't got no love for your dog, man? Anyway, hold on.
Hold on, it's time for a special guest.
Get Pongo in here.
Pongo, come here, buddy.
Yeah!
Round of applause.
Pongo, sit. Can you
Oh,
speak?
Pongo, you spilled his drink.
Speak!
You spilled our guest's drink.
Pongo, can you speak? That's as close as we're gonna get.
No, hold on. Pongo, sit.
He
Speak.
won't listen to me.
Speak. I said, come on, you're doing it. You almost
He's gonna
okay.
knock the mic over.
Okay, it's a come here. No, not his drinking. Come here, buddy.
While you try to get him to speak, I'm gonna pull up this conversation that I had with one of my fans. I think I've really made it when I've got fans asking me if I can do something about the communist regime in China.
Oh, it was the Philippines. Oh, they're wanting you to take out China.
Yeah. Hold on, let me pull this up. So, for those of you who don't know, I run a Piccolo page on Facebook with a name that you would never guess, Piccolo. And sometimes people assume that I'm actually Piccolo. So, this girl from the Philippines messaged me, and she started speaking Filipino, and but first she just goes, Namit, 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 Piccolo, and I'm all like, human, and I said her name, and she goes, Kamusta Goku, and I'm like, I don't know what that means, do you speak English? And she goes, yeah, I speak English just fine, what's up? And I was just like, that's dope, how are you doing? And she doesn't reply for like 15 minutes. And I'm like, okay, like this conversation is just going to go nowhere. I'm going to get back to my inbox. Because my page has like 80,000 likes on it. So like people message it stupid stuff all the time. And she goes, we need your help, Piccolo. The Philippines will be invaded by China. Can you help us? We need the Dragon Balls, please. And I'm just like, I was so shocked that this person assumes that I can come and help, like, do something about communist China as one man. Like, people get so into the idea that I'm Piccolo that they forget to think that I'm just some idiot on the internet. It's like the people who, like, want to raid Area 51. Like, they think that they can actually do anything, and I'm like, you can't. Like, you're one person. And I told her, you know, like, just to keep it up in character, because I thought this was funny, I was like, I don't have the Dragon Radar. And she was like, but you and Goku are allies. Where is he? And I was like, he's off-world. And she goes, what about Vegeta? And I was like, no, he's busy. And she goes, oh, that's fine. And then it stops for like another 5 minutes. And then she sends me another message, and it's, do you eat chili dogs? She just completely dropped about China invading the Philippines and asked me, do you eat chili dogs? And I said,
Sit, buddy.
yeah, I eat chili dogs. And then I sent her that video of Sonic the Hedgehog eating a chili dog at E3 that you've seen before. That really weird one.
Oh, yeah.
And she goes, how's your day going over there? And I was like, over where? She was like, you're at Planet Namek? And I'm like, yeah, I guess. It's alright. It's just blue everywhere. I'm blue, baba dee ba da ba, ba da ba dee, da ba doo ba da ba dee ba da da.
I think she really wants Piccolos.
And she didn't get it. And she was like, I want bluegrass here where we live, but global warming wrecks everything. We need more trees.
You should have sent bluegrass music. You should have sent some like you have that.
And I was just like, well, you know what you could do to stop global warming is not burn as many fossil fuels. And like, she's like, but Earth is already invading by machines and I'm only one person. I can't do nothing. I wanted to be like, all right, now hold on. You wanted me to come and fight communist China for you. But you're only one person.
What would it take? How much money would it take for you to paint yourself green and stand in China and be like, I'm here to fight on behalf of blank writer that wrote in?
What would it take?
Yeah.
Probably a lot of money.
Like just to pay for your plane ticket, or like?
No, I'm talking like I gotta have a stupid enough offer to think I might actually live.
All I'm saying is you just run around China being like, Hell's Own Grenade or Special Beam Cannon.
I mean, I'd probably do it, but like, she's talking and she's like, Earth is already invaded by machines, I can't do anything. And I was like, but one person can make all the difference. You can do it. You gotta fight the power. And she just immediately changes the subject again, and her message is, go sexy, go sexy, go sexy, go. And I'm just like, what the heck is this conversation, man? Like, I feel like I'm talking to myself in my head when I'm playing 5 different admins and I'm trying to decide who would say that. And I'm like, are you okay over there? And she's like, yeah, I'm fine. How are you doing?
Sit.
And I'm like, what was that ghost sexy thing all about? And she's like, it's a line from a movie.
Speak.
And she's like, what movie?
Speak.
And I was like, she said it was called a movie called She's Dating a Gangster.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for being on our podcast.
Thank you for your input, Pongo.
Thank you. Yeah, I agree.
And I'm just like asking her what this movie is, and she's like, it's called She's Dating a Gangster. And I was just like, I'm not a gangster. Don't talk about the sex. And she said, I said sexy, not sex. And I'm like, the sexy, please no. She doesn't reply for 15 minutes. And I'm just like, you know what? I got to keep this going. So the next incredible question I ask is, do you like nachos? And she just like pauses for like 3 minutes and goes, yes, I like nachos. Dot, 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 dot. And I'm like, with jalapeno poppers or ranch? I'm playing Legend of Zelda. And she goes, ranch isn't legal where I'm from. Like, are you serious? And she's like, I'm playing League of Legends. I was like, we don't have that on Planet Namek. And I was like, what is it? And she goes, you ought to come over to the Philippines and I'll show you how to play League of Legends. It's a battle on a Summoner's Rift, 5 versus 5. And I was like, well, I can't exactly leave Namek. My people need me. And I'm like, can you come to Namek? And she's like, oh, you can't leave even just for like 20 minutes so I can teach you how to play the game, Wiki Face? I'm like, what the heck is happening here? I was like, no, Frieza's out here lurking, man. He's going to try to get the Dragon Balls again. She was like, I don't have a capsule to ride. And I was like, she's probably thinking about riding something else at this point.
You're probably like a spaceship.
Probably. And I was just like, Bulma might be able to help you, but it's okay. I've got Zelda right here. And she's like, but Bulma and I aren't friends. And I was like, why not? And I'm just like, it's because she's a fictional character, you idiot. Like, Vegeta doesn't want me to follow her on social media. That's dumb.
This is all going to come back and bite you in the butt. This girl's
know.
going to listen to the podcast, and then she's going to, like, tell her mom something, and then they're going to come beat us up.
Well,
Oh, look, I have no allegiance to this Piccolo man. That, like,
what are you talking about? You're one of the admins.
If you want, I am not. He's never made me an admin.
I made you an admin literally while we were recording.
Prove it. How do I tell?
You'll get a notification on Facebook here in a little bit.
How long?
It'll take like an hour. Oh man, I need to finish reading this conversation.
Oh, dang it, I keep video calling Charlie. Hey Charlie, I'm sorry if you saw that.
Don't do that.
I keep accidentally doing it all the time.
But hold on, what happened to my conversation, man? It closed out. I gotta finish this because it gets even weirder. And I was like, next time I see Vegeta, I'm gonna tell him that he's just a bad man, referencing his pink shirt that he wore, thinking that he was cool. And that completely went over her head, and she changed the subject again. She was like, so do you have Wi-Fi there as well? And I was like, all I have is dial-up internet. And she asked, Facebook can be connected to that? And I was like, yeah, thanks to my antenna. And she's all like, oh, that's cool. What else can your antenna do? And I said, it can spin like a helicopter. And I sent a bunch of helicopter emojis. And she goes, oh, so you can teleport here. And I was like, no, I can't. Like, Goku usually picks me up when my shift ends watching Lord Guru. And basically, I take care of Gohan for him, but he's kind of left me here for like the last 6 months because Goku finally learned how to make chicken tenders. So he can actually feed Gohan, and it's kind of like, what have you done for me lately? And she goes, oh, that's fine, but I don't need you to cook for me. And I was like, I wasn't going to, and she just hasn't replied in like the last 6 days. So that's basically it. That's the weird conversation that I wanted to read
Come here,
this
buddy.
week. I'll probably start doing that if I have weird conversations on this Facebook page, just because the fans are ridiculous in the Dragon Ball community, and I think that they deserve shout-outs every once in a while. I'm gonna call this the weird internet story. I don't know. Like,
Our guest Pongo was not very pleased with that story.
Pongo, I'm sorry, man. Our last guest Jacob told me that you were gonna try to find me a woman, and then all of a sudden this girl starts talking to me. So I'm starting to think that you had something to do with this. He looks pretty scared.
He looks frustrated. They won't let him out. Release the hounds.
Release the hounds. I don't know how much more we're gonna be going, man. It's like, is there anything that you want to talk about that you never get to talk about with Ryan on the show?
Man, I talk about everything. I don't know what you want to talk about. Shut up.
Hey,
I don't know what you want me to talk about.
you can't keep telling the ghost of Ryan to shut up. You have to have respect for the dead, man. If you don't, like, things are going to get really weird around here. Your lights are going to start flicking on and off. The walls will ooze green slime. The hash slinging slasher's going to show up.
Nosferatu. Do you see the poster for the SpongeBob It's a Wonderful Sponge?
Yeah.
Looks weird.
Man, I don't know how I feel about SpongeBob still being made.
Well, the origin story movie?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or just SpongeBob in general. Now that Steven Hillenburg is dead, I'm just like...
I felt like he stepped away a while ago, though.
I felt like he was actually still pretty involved.
I just felt like the quality of the show wasn't the same, but...
Yeah, no,
to be fair, I haven't watched really any of it since...
So, like, I am pretty much a SpongeBob enthusiast for, like, the first 3 to 4, even 5 seasons. But, like, yeah, I feel like the quality just dipped a lot after the first movie. It's one of those things where, like, you really enjoy something, but too much of a good thing can just really sour on you. I think of, like, Dragon Ball Z. And how, like...
Super's the best Dragon Ball series. I don't know what you're talking about.
I was going to say GT.
Let's not take GT's name in vain.
I know, I'm not.
Yeah.
I love GT.
Yeah. But it's better than good.
GT stands for great time. That's why people had such a great time with it. One of two things happen. You either like
Hold
GT
on. That's impossible. Because as the lyrics go to the theme song, it's step into the Grand Tour, step into the Grand Tour, Dragon Ball GT. So you're telling me...
It stands for having a great time.
Hold on. Shut your stupid mouth.
No, don't you
You're
argue
telling
with
me that GT does not stand for Grand Tour.
Yeah.
But stands for Great Titanic?
Great time. Not Titanic.
What? Titanic.
No. Time. Like a watch.
No, watch is spelled with a W. So it had to be GW. Dragon Ball GW is not the name.
Dragon Ball GW would stand for Goku's wife, and that's just a series about how Chi-Chi cooks meals for Goku every day.
I got a missed call.
You got a missed call from who?
Oh, from Charlie, because I accidentally called.
Oh, gee, I wonder why he's calling you back. You shouldn't have dialed him like a jerk.
I'm trying. I'm.
Listen, man. I don't know how we're gonna do this without Ryan. We talked all the time about how, like, we could do a better podcast, but this has been rough. You were getting naked 5 minutes in.
It wasn't even 5 minutes. Natalie Portman breaks silence on Marvel will turn for Thor: Love and Thunder.
Okay, this is actually important.
Doesn't really say much. But Portman, the other Thor actors Kelly mentioned, not enjoying the filming process for her first two movie. In fact, him wrote it out to Taika Waititi. As an actor, maybe here it is. No, wait. Who's quoting this? As an actor, it's like completely different scale because making these movies, you work so much on the blue screen. It really challenged for me. I don't feel like I've gotten it yet. I don't feel like I understood it yet. I don't know what this is talking about. But I don't know. That seems weird. That doesn't actually seem like a quote. That was a clickbait. I'm so sorry.
So, how do you feel about Star Wars?
I mean, I don't hate it as much as... I don't hate Last Jedi as much as everyone else does.
I meant, like, the whole series.
Oh. I don't like the fan base.
Why?
Hey, hold on, let's call it back. Boss Logic, which is the guy who does a lot of artwork for Marvel right now, February 18th basically told everyone that Mahershala Ali was being Blade because he made a Blade concept art and put it online.
So he spoiled it.
Kind of. Nobody took him seriously. Because in Alita, his character looks like Blade.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of true. So back to the Star Wars thing. You don't like the fan base.
Yeah, they're very toxic.
I kind of agree.
They're very spoiled because their movies are very revolutionary, and
I think that they just aren't willing to take risks. They don't want anything to be fun. They got really mad at the prequel trilogy when it came out, And now all of a sudden everybody accepts the prequel trilogy for what it is just because of the sequel trilogy. And it's like, when you really think back on it, the original trilogy is not all that great.
I mean,
as movies either.
They're good. It's just like a time and place thing. It's like, I appreciate them for what they were.
Right.
But what they are now is not nearly the same, quality. I mean, I hold them in a high regard because of what they are.
Right.
I mean, Empire, I think, is a good movie still through and through, except for, that 10 minutes they're with on the meteor thing.
When Luke's just running around on a tauntaun and
I don't even mind that part. I'm talking about when, the Falcon has to stop at the...
Oh, the asteroid field.
Yeah, and they stop at the meteor.
Yeah, there's weird moments in all the Star Wars movies that people can't let go for whatever reason.
But that one...
in the original one, it's...
I'm talking, Zach! Ow!
The ghost of Ryan is haunting you.
I slipped out of the chair.
You didn't slip out of the chair. You intentionally rolled out.
No, I started moving down because this stupid chair is broken. I bought it on Amazon for $20.
You know what you should do right now? You should get on Amazon and write a review of that chair.
It's been too long.
No, you should do it right now and just
did I break my... Oh, no, I didn't break.
Link nothing coherent when you review the chair.
Anyway, I like Last Jedi. I think it has the biggest flaw of the problem with its extended scene where people are like, well, it's like Empire. Well, it is, but the scene takes 20 minutes and it doesn't do anything for the plot. At least the Empire one had shown Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And showed that they were constantly being chased by the Empire, so they had to go to Cloud City.
But I feel like every Star Wars movie has that one pointless scene that's just kind of there for no reason, just to fill time. In Force Awakens, it's that one monster on the spaceship that
I completely agree with that. And then, New Hope is literally the opening of the movie.
Yeah, all the stuff with the droids and how they're captured by the Jawas and everything. Which I guess that still leads to stuff, but
it just takes forever.
Yeah, it's 20 minutes of
there's some weird stuff all over this shit.
20 minutes of just weird nonsense. Phantom Menace, whether I like the scene or not, is the pod race. The pod race.
Whoa! No, it's literally everything with the Gungans.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
Pod racing is the best part of Phantom Menace, outside of the Duel of Fates.
I was gonna say the fight. Are you serious? Look at me right now, dead in the face, and tell me that you like the pod race more than the final fight. I was gonna say the same thing about Return of the Jedi with the Ewoks and Jabba the Hutt, but they set up the Jabba the Hutt stuff in the last movie, so it makes sense to be there. Attack of the Clones is that weird middle part where Anakin goes to find his mom. It didn't need to be in the movie, but you kind of appreciate it because it's you get a little bit of a glimpse of why Anakin's going to become Darth Vader, but they don't go all the way with it. They don't show you him killing the Jawas and the Sand People or whatever. It's just yeah, we know he did it, but I'd like to see it. I'd like to see him using his force powers for evil. And then the third movie, that one, I don't feel like there's really a pointless scene. I'd have to think on that one a little bit more. But, almost all of them, they have, a weird scene in them where it's just why is this in the movie?
Yeah.
What's your favorite film franchise of all time?
Probably as of now the MCU, but I hold Star Wars in a really high regard for a film franchise because I think it's one I grew up with. But the MCU, I always loved superheroes growing up.
Yeah.
And so I always wanted to see a good superhero shared universe that led to a team up movie.
Yeah.
And so for me,
what about say Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter?
I don't like Lord of the Rings.
You don't?
We talked about this.
I thought that you didn't like The Hobbit. Because I don't like the Hobbit movies, but I don't mind the Lord of the Rings movies.
I think the Lord of the Rings movies are fine. I think Return of the King's good, but as a franchise, I don't care for it.
It's hard to watch. It's too long.
I've seen both the extended and non to try to get myself
yeah.
Maybe I'm just not understanding this, but now I'm dead right.
No, I read the books and I had more fun reading the books than watching the movies. Like, I like to imagine things in my head more reading that book. For me, I would say Harry Potter is
You know, we could stop talking and go play Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
We could, but I have fun just sitting here watching you sink more and more into misery as I keep you here in my funhouse. First Ryan, then Brandon, and then the
I knew you were the man behind Walmart. Dear Lord, Ryan's gonna have such fun editing this.
I think the ASMR part is the best part because I'm sitting there actually talking and making noise, so he clearly can't boost it. Alright, but you should end it right now, and we won't even say goodbye, but you can just end it with the I knew you were the man behind Walmart, and we won't even do an actual goodbye. Or should we keep this in?
It's too late for us.
Man, I'm looking at your wall, and I feel like I want to walk around and, like, hit it with my head.
Oh, hold on.
And punch things like I'm a retarded Tyrannosaurus. Is that a lightsaber?
Well, you ruined the surprise now, thanks. I was gonna go. I'm done. Do you want me to?
You're done? You're not done until I say we're done. Okay, this has been nothing coherent. So, should we tell them the truth about Ryan? Or should we leave it ambiguous? I think it'd be more fun.
Well, you guys freaking lied about me, so why would we tell them?
I think it'd be more fun to tell them the truth that Ryan is actually in Minnesota and he's working in the lumber mill right now. And he's just trying to save up enough money to go on a cruise to Zimbabwe. That's what he's doing.
I forgot I had this, honestly.
You forgot that you had that?
Yeah, I wanted it so bad when Force Awakens came out because I was on such a Star Wars hype.
And now you just don't. And now you just don't even use it. It just sits in the corner. Of your
Well, I
room.
want to put it up somewhere because it came with a stand to like put up.
Oh yeah.
But I want to put it up on a wall, but there's.
You
no
should
way.
put it next to the Master Sword in a different room or something.
Well, I'm gonna have an office soon, and I'll put like.
Actually, I was always wondering what room are you guys gonna?
That old bedroom, the one right there, is being turned into my like office room
Office.
because it's the only other room that has an Ethernet cord, and this has to have.
I'm assuming that's where we're gonna record the future podcast episodes.
We
at least
could.
for now, just because we can finally get out of that sweaty garage where it like makes my balls smell like a swamp.
Oh my gosh.
I was trying so hard not to say that laughing, and I ruined it. It would have been so much funnier had I said that straight faced, man. It's 4:37 right now. 4 plus 3 equals 7.
Hold on, if we go over 3 more minutes, we hit 2 hours.
Oh, we gotta hit 2 hours. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna walk around and describe the posters in your room. That
Don't
these
take
people
that
will
off
never
because
see.
I don't know if I can get that back
Oh,
up.
I'm not taking the sword. I was gonna say that looks like Star Trek.
It is, and if you turn off the light, it glows in the dark.
It does.
Yeah.
Turn that lightsaber on. I've never been in your room in the dark.
Oh, dang it, you can't see.
I've never been in your room in the dark except when I watch you sleep. That's Suicide Squad.
Can you see it now? Yeah, look.
Yeah, it's the sun.
No,
It's glowing
in the sun.
dark. Yeah, you can see the ship.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Oh, you're gonna chop my head off now, aren't you?
Ha!
This has been Nothing Coherent.
I'm still alive!
Thank you for listening. As the sole
Ah!
As the sole survivor of this podcast.
Quit hitting me with that plastic toy! I don't need to know where it's been. Stop it.
Did you see right here, there's a bulb out?
Is that where y'all were playing with them?
No, here and here is where Alec and Tyler, when they were doing their lightsaber fight in the news.
Oh yeah, when they got on
the
the news. Dude, that was a great time. Actually, you know what? Let's tell the story about Star Wars Force Awakens for us while we're still here for a little bit longer.
1 minute, 10 seconds, that's all you got.
So, This was what, 2015 when Force Awakens came out?
Yeah.
And Force Awakens came out during the wintertime, like all the Star Wars movies have been. And we all had this brilliant idea to camp out for Star Wars.
Yeah, I slept in my car.
Your cousin slept in a shopping cart outside, which I thought was the most meta thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And he just like flung the shopping cart down onto the ground.
I'm gonna make sure my dog isn't chewed up
And he was like,
talking.
you know what? I've got nothing better to do with my life right now than to show that I'm alpha and sleep in the cold. And I sat there and I was like, man, I really want to join him, but if I do and I go outside, I'm gonna like.
Whose car did you sleep in?
I slept in Jake's car.
Well, you gotta turn around and tell it to the freaking mic and not me.
I'm telling you because I'm talking to you. Listen, like we were all like just hanging out and having a good time, and we all woke up at 6 a.m. and sat around for like 12 hours to watch a movie that most of them didn't even like. It was literally episode 4 all over again. That's all I remember leaving the theater is everybody talking about that. And like, I do remember that one guy playing the Cantina Band song for like 15 hours straight.
Well, good. Sorry, this has been all we have tonight. I'm sorry you couldn't finish your story, Zach.
Dang it, I should have licked your hand when I had a chance.
Thank you. This has been Nothing Coherent. Thank you for listening to our 2-hour wonderful podcast and ASMR session. I'm Brandon.
I'm Zach.
Thank you for never tuning in again.